Norris now with it, top of the key. Hands it back to Smith, back to Norris. A three, splash down goes Landon Norris, his 15th, and it's a 7-point game.
Aiden Stoltz, three on the way. Yes, Aiden Stoltz pours it in from downtown. Eagles match their largest lead.
Now let's head to the gym for all the exciting action of South Central Iowa high school basketball on the one to count on for today's local sports coverage, KNIA and KRLS.
And a good evening to you, and thank you for joining us wherever you may be. We hope you're as warm and cozy as we are high atop the Pella High School Gymnasium as we welcome you on an appropriately cold night to the winter sports season at Pella High School. I'm Andrew Schneider alongside Brian Vanderlyn. We'll have a lot of the action for you here on 92.1 KRLS as we welcome you to the McCall Monument Monumental Radio pregame show. Andrew Schneider and Brian Vanderloon as the Dutch take on the Comets of North Polk. And Brian, good to have you back with us. A lot of new faces that we're going to see on both the boys and girls coming up over the next 3 to 4 months. But the familiar faces are back up top. Good to have you back with us, Brian. Here we go again. A new era of basketball in so many ways at Pella High School and across the state of Iowa.
It is going to be a blast. We were talking beforehand, just a lot of unknowns. A lot of unknown factors on both our boys and girls squads. A lot of players that haven't necessarily played, but it's now their turn. It's their time to shine. We fully expect we got some great coaches that talent will develop, whether it's in November, whether that's in December. Certainly we hope it's by February and March. So that's the beauty of high school basketball is you don't win state championships in November and December, but I think if it'll just be fun to watch the process because there's just a lot of kids that haven't, quite frankly, played a lot. And as they get experience, it'll be good.
Well, and as we look at our McCall Monument Monumental Radio keys, not only to this game, but as the season progresses, the reason why it feels so different is that last year, Brian, both boys and girls, there were a ton of returning faces. You had a lot of 3-year, 2-year, in some cases 4-year players like a Carl Miller who had so much experience. Expectations for both teams were certainly much higher. We're not trying to say that these teams can't go far in the postseason, but clearly, Brian, November basketball is going to look a lot like November basketball here tonight. So obviously both these teams, the key, especially tonight, is can you improve? Can you get better? Because we don't know what to expect. Do we hope both teams win tonight? We're on the Pella Dutch Live YouTube channel. I would say yes. But the reality of that situation, Brian, is so different and so much in a different spot than we were a year ago. So many new faces in a lot of new places.
Well, and that's why an opponent like North Polk is so good this early in the season. You know, they, particularly the girls, they've got a great crew. They've kind of established a tradition up there. They've done a great job the last few years. A lot of returning people on their squad. So it's really a benchmark for where we are after a few weeks of practice and one ball game. You know, the same can be said of the boys. You know, they've got a lot of their returning. They've had a lot of success on the boys' side as well, you know, and it gives you things to work on. It gives you areas where, you know, some things look really easy in practice, but boy, in a game they can look completely different. And so a good quality opponent like this tonight, it will shine some things on what our strengths are, but it will certainly shine some things on areas that we need a lot of work on.
Well, North Polk is entering in a very different spot than these Pella girls. They lost to number 3 DCG last week. North Polk came into the season preseason ranked number 4, a state tournament team. Lost 1 of 7 mainly key rotation players from a year ago. They have the opposite thing going on. They're extremely experienced, extremely savvy, and do a lot of things well.
Yeah, they do. And I think if I remember, I didn't see the game. I think it was up there last year, obviously, as we rotate. But a couple years ago, again, a lot of these same girls, when they were much younger, they just caught fire from 3. So I'm anticipating that they are going to be a 3-point shooting team. They're going to handle the ball well. You know, when you talk about keys to the game, anytime I talk about a girls' basketball game, it's who's going to handle the ball and who's going to handle the pressure, who's going to give yourself a chance to even shoot the basketball and not throw it away. And, you know, again, a team with experience gives themselves an opportunity to get hot from 3. We'll see what the Dutch do to combat that and what they can do on their side of the offensive side of things.
And again, 0-1 for North Polk is a big asterisk. They lost to a team that has about 90%, I think, of the roster that played in the state championship game a year ago on that team. So North Polk was very competitive with a good DCG team who Pella will have the, we'll say, fortune of seeing twice later this season.
They'll have that opportunity.
They'll have that opportunity coming up later this year. Your McCall Monument Monumental Radio keys to the game. Don't burn your loved ones with planning or memorial after you're gone. Pre-plan yours and trust the family at McCall Monument, the area's leading monument designer and installer on Old Highway 163 West in Pella. Before we take our next time out, did want to mention we started about 15 minutes before we typically do, so let's talk Pella today. If you are going to tune in for the Pella Forte interview, they're at state coming up this week. All the best to the Pella Forte girls as they get ready for that. That interview is available online alongside some photos that I was able to take last night at the parent preview at kniakrls.com. Congratulations on a great start to the season for Pella Forte, and all the best to you at state. And when we come back, Brian and I will talk more about our basketball doubleheader. It's the Dutch and North Polk live on Pella Dutch Live and 92.1 KRLS.
This November at Pella Motors, it is Black Friday all month long. Save some money this winter and sign now for no payments for 90 days. Or take advantage of $12,000 off select Ram 1500s, $3,000 off Jeep Grand Cherokee L, and up to $4,000 in savings on select Chevy Silverados. Plus, see our large selection of pre-owned vehicles at PellaMotors.com. We are dealing. Stop in today or check us out online at PellaMotors.com.
With today's interest rates, if you're selling your home and moving, it's as important as ever to make sure that you are bringing as much equity across into your new home. Hi, this is Brett Staten with Pella Real Estate Services. I recently helped someone sell their home in Knoxville, Iowa for $131,000. Using our Pres Listing Advantage, they saved $930. When it's time to sell your home, call 628-1-BUI and use the Pres Listing Advantage at Pella Real Estate Services.
The signals on the car go blink, 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 blink. The signals on the car go blink, blink, blink at Central Tire and Auto.
We all share the road, so if your turn signals are burned out, stop into Central Tire and Auto and get them fixed. For tires, front-end work, their no-appointment oil change, full mechanical work on your vehicle, and the little things like new turn signals. Stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. Everybody now.
At Central Tire and Auto.
Vision for Less has delivered free same-day speed for over 30 years because our local lens labs are full of experienced and passionate lab techs, not to mention advanced equipment needed for the job. Simply put, your glasses can be ready the same day at no additional cost to you. On top of that, nobody beats our everyday low prices. Get 2 pairs single vision starting under $40 or 2 pairs of progressive starting under $80. Your time is valuable, and quality comes faster than you think when you shop at Vision for Less.
What's the beef about beef? It all comes down to where it comes from. That's why you can count on Hy-Vee Choice Reserve beef. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve comes from only the best Midwest farmers and ranchers. And we say only the best because less than 10% of USDA choice beef even meets Hy-Vee's strict standards for tenderness and flavor. Less than 10%. Hand-selected, cut fresh daily. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve is your choice for the best beef.
Hi, this is Levi Spain with Spain Painting in Pella, your local exterior painting experts. Winter in Iowa doesn't lend itself to doing much painting outside, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't chat. Winter is when a lot of people are planning for their spring projects. So if you're thinking about painting your house, now is a great time for me to come and talk about some ideas and give you an estimate. You can learn more about us and see some of our work by visiting spain-painting.com. Spain Painting, exteriors done with integrity.
Hi, I'm Laura, a care coordinator with Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy in Pella. Whether it's scheduling your appointment, checking your insurance benefits, or answering any questions you have, I'm here to make your experience at Kinetic Edge as convenient and easy as possible. Give us a call at 641-621-0230 or visit kineticedgept.com to learn more about what we can do for you.
Would you look at the time? It's tax time. You already know H&R Block does taxes, but here's what you may not know when you file with H&R Block, like how you can get expert help in person or virtually. Plus, our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request to work with the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. No one offers more ways to help with your taxes than H&R Block. At H&R Block, help is here.
Visit H&R Block, Pella, Oskaloosa.
Our pregame coverage continues here on 92.1 KRLS and Pella Dutch Live, just minutes away from our opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply. Your colors of the game are presented by a new sponsor. We welcome Levi Spain with Spain Painting. Nice new uniforms. The Dutch looks sharp here on the girls' side with the white tops, bottoms, the white numbers with the green trim. Thankfully, the numbers contrast. It's easy to tell the numbers apart, but a slick new look for Pella as we take a look at our colors of the game presented by Spain Painting.
Yeah, I'm glad that the numbers aren't clear like the letters Pella across their chest. It makes it easy for this colorblind guy to see.
Indeed it does. And your colors of the game presented by Levi Spain with Spain Painting. They're exterior painting experts, and Levi would love to talk to you now to start planning for a spring project for your home or business. You can find them online at spain-painting.com. Our game time temperature, as always, is presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating. It is 28 degrees and dropping rapidly. It is appropriate, Brian. Winter sports season. It's got to feel like winter on day one, and it normally does.
I walked over here, and that wind was howling, and I thought, oh, baby, it is basketball season.
And you don't have the underground tunnel to come walk over from your east of Pella High School location. Your game time temperature is presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating, 28 degrees outside. It is always fun to be high atop the Pella High School gym, the new look Pella High School gym with shot clocks and more. Your game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating. They're your local heating and cooling experts. You'll rest easy when you pick up the phone and hear
Van Haften.
We are just a minute or so away here from our opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply. We'll talk about our starting lineups in a moment presented by Miniga Pest Control. We'll get to those as the game goes on, only because we're to the new season here. We have our projected starters, and why don't we read through those? In fact, now they're up on the big board, Brian. Our starters presented by Miniga Pest Control: Tristan Gordon, Kylie Tauke, Kennedy Van Vark, Mia Warner, and I believe that's Haley Van Vark rounding out the Dutch lineup. Gordon, Tauke, Van Vark, Warner, and Van Vark. For North Polk, it's an experienced group: Michaela Boatman, Lisa Schaefer, Abby Tuttle, Izzy McCool, and Becca Agard. That's Boatman, Schaefer, Tuttle, McCool, and Agard for North Polk. Your starting lineups are presented by Miniga Pest Control. Sean and his team want to kill your bugs.
Call 628-3198. Miniga Pest Control.
We will step aside for a commercial timeout. When we come back, your opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply.
Jerry and Lucy Ellis of Pella were building a new home, and Mike Blom with Cabinet Design and Wood Harbor Cabinetry made everything a breeze.
It was such an easy process. We had cabinets in the kitchen, 3 bathrooms, a utility room, and we could pick all that out in 1 hour and a half because he had exactly what you needed to make your house look beautiful.
Hi, I'm Mike Blom, the Cabinet Guy. Cabinet Design in Pella, where we expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations.
Do you ever wonder what goes on in certain places when you're not there? Are your kids home from school yet? Are the deer moving today? Are people stealing tools from your job site? Whatever and wherever that place is, the Arlo Go2 camera from US Cellular has you covered. The Arlo Go2 is completely wireless, connected with cellular data so you can use it anywhere. And with the Arlo app on your smartphone, you can remotely monitor those places with video recordings or real-time live views anytime. Stop by Strawberry Cellular for details.
Maybe you've always prepared your own taxes and plan to do so again in the future. But in this past year, you had some changes in your life. You got married, you had a baby, you bought a house, you changed jobs, you sent your first kid off to college. Don't let changes in your life overwhelm you this tax season. Let the professionals at Van Manen, Seedstrom, Meyer, and Nickel help you with your tax preparation this year. Give them a call at 628-3737.
Save time and gain peace of mind with Van Manen, Seedstra, Meyer, and Nickel.
At Marion County Bank, we love the communities we serve.
In fact, it's why we do what we do. From the report card program that gives back to the school of your choice,
to all the community events, sponsorships, and donations we are proud to be a part of.
From the volunteer efforts of our staff,
to partnering in the success story of your business, farming operation, or personal financial journey. We go beyond banking. We share in the life of the community.
Marion County Bank, serving you, building community. Member FDIC.
And we are live inside our broadcast booth, inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. Andrew Schneider and Brian Vandeloon, they're announcing the starting lineups on the floor, and we're getting you set for our opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply. You are listening to Pella High Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on 92.1 FM, KRLS, Knoxville, Pella, and KRLS HD1 Knoxville Pella. Everyone has a goal, an inspiration, a reason for being. Whatever that is for you, Bank Iowa says,
let's make it happen.
And let's make it happen, Brian. A new season upon us. An experienced North Polk team ranked 4th in the preseason in Class 4A, taking on a very new-look Pella Dutch girls. And, of course, the lights here in the gym. We talked about new look, new shot clocks, Brian. The scoreboards have new lighting. There's a video board. The lighting, this is something they've done the last couple years.
Got
this
the big windmill shadow in the center of the court.
Yes,
kind of the new logo.
And we got to see it a little bit for volleyball when we were on Pella Dutch Live for that exclusively. But, yeah, this is what it's for. This is the enhanced environment you want for the students, and it feels like a big-time environment that they've created here at Pella High School.
Yeah, it makes it fun because it's what you see on TV, and it's just fun to be a part of, and, it's just exciting.
We have a whole lot of broadcasts to get to inside of our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, by the way. Games that we'll be keeping track of with this magic button. Thank you to Strauver Cellular for hopping along for our instant radio updates yet again. As our master basketball schedule comes out for the first time, Pella Christian is hosting Eddyville Blakesburg Fremont tonight over on KRLS 2 and on the Pella Christian High School YouTube channel, sponsored by KRLS Radio this year. Excited to be a part of that. Knoxville boys at PCM. That game is live on 95.3 KNIA, and Indianola versus Southeast Polk live on 94.3 KNIA. All those broadcasts just getting underway right now as we get you set for our opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply. Dutch Mill Supply is your only locally owned lumberyard and building materials supplier. We welcome our audience on Pella Dutch Live, or if you're driving along with us, or on your mobile app on 92.1 KRLS. Brian, here we are, a new winter season and one that has a lot more questions to be answered than we normally expect.
Yeah, and just interesting things, the shot clock you kind of mentioned in passing as far as equipment, but I'm curious most of us think that it's not going to be that big a deal until maybe the end of the game and clock management and time management. I think a lot of coaches are really going to try to hurry teams up so that they, whether that's a full court press or trying to make things happen so that they have a little or no time to run a set offense. So I'm kind of curious to see, particularly in the girls' game, what difference a shot clock makes. Not so much just at the end of the games, but even with how you handle your defensive strategy.
Ball is in the air, and we are underway. The winter sports season is officially upon us on 92.1 KRLS. North Polk basketball. They'll trigger a three in the corner. Hits off the rim, no, and Kylie Tauke with the rebound. Tauke, one of those bench players in an elevated role this year as one of the starting guards. Tristan Gordon also fits that bill left wing. Lobs it in for Van Vark, and that's tipped away and stolen. Turnover. Pella goes to Lisa Schaefer.
She had her there, just the pass was a little bit off and couldn't quite come up with it, but the idea was good, and I like the idea of the pick and roll with the post player.
In the corner. As you mentioned, North Polk not afraid to trigger a few threes. This one will rattle out of bounds and go on the team rebound side to the Dutch.
I was just going to say, I think it's pretty obvious that they are not afraid to shoot the three. That's kind of been their mantra for a couple of years now, that they've had some good success, and I'm sure those good shooters are back. Just a matter whether they're hitting them on a night or whether we do enough to disrupt them.
Tauke has it right wing. She'll shuffle it out to Kennedy Van Vark, the top returning scorer for the Dutch from a season ago. Mia Warner second on that list, and one of the more experienced, typically a post player that will be a hybrid on the outside as well, depending on the matchup. Van Vark, top of the free throw line, gets it to Gordon, who travels.
Yeah, again, 2 possessions, and neither time did we get a shot off. So, again, as I said earlier, not that I'm trying to, who takes care of the basketball and gives yourself at least a chance to shoot. So
6.5 to play first quarter, still scoreless between the Comets and Dutch. Down low on the post, it's Becca Agard. Nice pass and a feed, and the first bucket is in for Abby Tuttle.
Yeah, she did a nice job of cutting from the way outside by the three-point line.
Tauke, a runner, hits off the back iron, no, and rebound goes to Agard. Just getting underway first quarter. Contested three in the corner, and contested to the point where it's a foul as Tauke bumps in to Michaela Boatman, the top returning player for North Polk from a season ago. She's at the foul line for 3 shots, right?
Yeah, it will be 3. Yeah, there's just a lot of interesting things in this game, of how you handle pressure and who's shooting. And there's just it's fun to watch these girls' games early in the year because they're trying to find their identity. They're trying to figure out if they're a slow down and pound it in kind of game or whether we're a pass until the other team gets sick of playing defense kind of a team, or whether we're up and down the floor and shoot it at the first open opportunity. It's kind of fun to see them develop their identity.
2 of 3 made for Boatman, and North Polk, the Comets, ranked 4th in Class 4A with a 4-0 lead, 6:08 remaining. Shot clock, of course, something we'll keep an eye on, but haven't needed to here so far. Both teams have been pretty quick with their offensive possessions, and that's not something we expected for either team, Brian, coming in for both North Polk boys and girls and Pella's boys and girls. Definitely not the slow it down, grind it out kind of programs.
No, neither one have been built on that, and North Polk playing a really good, tight man-to-man defense. Nobody's really getting free, and so far we've had 3 turnovers out of 4 possessions.
And on the other side, North Polk passing it underneath and open was Izzy McCool. 3 different comments on the board, and they're up 6-0, 5:38 first quarter. You're listening to girls basketball action kicking off the winter season on KRLS. Tauke for the Dutch. Elbow jumper was open, but just rattles in and out, no good. Boatman the rebound for the Comets as they're over the timeline already. It's Abby Tuttle dribbling near the big green piece center court. Flips it right side to Schaefer. Schaefer on the wing, top of the circle to McCool. Thought about a shot instead underneath to Agard, who hits it off the window and in. An 8-0 run for the Comets in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, they had 4 out and then their 1 post player inside, and so it ended up just being a one-on-one with the post player, and she got it in about 2 feet from the hoop, easy to score.
Van Vark whips it back outside, right wing 3 is in. Mia Warner will knock it in. A good kick out by Haley Van Vark to get it going.
Yeah, I was just about to say she should have taken that up, but then she found Mia out open, and so a nice job of drawing some people and finding the open shooter.
That'll snap that 8-0 run. Comets have it their half of the floor. Top of the circle, Tuttle up 8-3. Approaching the halfway mark here in our opening quarter. Our opening broadcast on 92.1 KRLS. Left-handed floater is in for McCool just in front of the rim. She's got the second of 2 buckets for her tonight. Up to 4 points. Down low, here's Van Vark. Dribbles around the post, outside Gordon. Can she get it to go from 3? Just a bit long, no good. Board controlled by Tuttle. Quickly down on the other half of the floor, a foul by Warner as she makes contact with a previously open Michaela Boatman, who has more free throws coming. She's 2 of 3 from the line.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something with our defensive strategy. I know that they are 3-point shooters, but right now we're leaving our post player, and it's not always just our tallest girl. We're playing 4 out, and we're kind of leaving her stranded to play one-on-one defense, and they're just getting buckets right in front of the hoop, and that's the adjustment I think Blaine is making by bringing in another post player for the Dutch.
Eliza Van Zee will check in, as will Abby Warner. 2 of the expected players for Coach Forsyth and company in their rotation early season. Boatman now 4 of 5 from the line, up to 4 points. In case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic.
They're the veterinarians.
An 8-0 North Polk run, and they lead now by 9, 12-3. Here's Kylie Tauke, top of the circle, spin move. She'll stop, stuck in the lane, out to Warner. Flips it right side to Abby Warner. A lot of same names here. This is, of course, related, the Warner sisters. The Van Vark's not. Here's Tauke. Runner is in and out, no good.
2 shots coming, though.
And Tauke is in. Your game reset, new sponsor or returning sponsor, Champion Seed with local dealer J Boot, an independently owned and regionally focused seed company striving to build and maintain the broadest portfolio of genetics and traits. Champion Seed, they only champion the best. And the first free throw of the year in for Tauke, at least at home, I should say. Pella did play. They're 1-0. They defeated Mount Pleasant 1 week ago, just before the holiday. That seems like a long time ago.
Oh, doesn't that? A lot of turkey and ham ago.
And the second is in. We never talk about that effect on the first Tuesday, is how many of these guys and girls athletes are impacted by their holiday meal choices.
They're probably a little smarter than I was.
Same. Shot doesn't go in for Tuttle. She gets her own rebound. North Polk keeps the ball up 12-5 with 3:33 remaining first quarter. Andrew Schneider, Brian Vanderloon on KRLS and Pella Dutch Live. We got an early start here, 6 o'clock start. North Polk, part to accommodate their long travel up to Alleman. After this, the runner doesn't go. Another offensive rebound is Ashley Owen off the bench. That is the 5th different comment, Brian, who's hit the board.
Yeah, right now our rebounding also needs to improve. So, we talked about it's not going to be perfect tonight. We know that. They know that. Just going to be a matter of can we clean some things up and stay close to keep this one competitive.
14-5, and as we mentioned, North Polk is a very strong contender to find themselves back at Wells Fargo Arena coming up in early March. A very strong team who had a nice game with a quality DCG team just a week ago. And you know that's an opponent that I'm sure the Comets would love to see again. As is often the case when you play in that first or second week of the season, Brian, you'd love to see some of those opponents again if you were on the losing end. Here's Van Zee getting the inbound. Here's Tauke. Whips it right side to Kennedy Van Vark. Van Vark top of the circle to Abby Warner on the wing. Cross-court pass to Van Zee inside the circle, dribbling with her left hand on the bricks. Whips it back out now to Tauke. Tauke, dribble drive, putting it up strong. Can't get it to go. Van Zee gets the putback and the cleanup crew for Eliza Van Zee.
Nice job of hitting the boards and being there strong. Good job that time.
14-7, North Polk leads. 2:28 remaining first quarter. A contested runner doesn't go. Mia Warner clears out a rebound, her first of the night. Up ahead to Kennedy Van Vark. Pella playing with some pace here, hands it off. Tauke triggers a left wing three, doesn't go. And a high rebound for Abby Tuttle, who has 3 off the glass so far. And then a foul called and a turnover. North Polk their first on the offensive foul. Charged to Abby Tuttle.
Abby Warner doing a nice job of beating her to the spot and picking up the charge. I'm sure that will not be the only time we see that this year, because she will be a pest to any ball handler. The opponents will run into an Abby Warner buzzsaw, because she will try to make their life as miserable as possible, and that time she did a good job.
14-7, 2:10 remaining. As we get a substitution bunch here for both teams. Elia Riddick is on the floor for the Dutch for the first time tonight. Abby Warner has it right wing after the inbounds. Back out to Tristan Gordon. Tristan with her left hand, trying to shuffle it to somebody. She's trapped. Gets it to Van Vark at the last second. Kennedy, the runner, doesn't go. She had a big night against Mount Pleasant to start. And then Van Zee on the way down gets tied up on the rebound. It will stay with Pella on the alternating arrow.
Good job by Eliza, though, hitting the boards. That's something we're going to need, because if we get the shots up, it's nice to have her crashing those boards and giving us another opportunity.
Abby Warner, right hand doesn't go. And the rebound is controlled by Becca Agard. 14-7, North Polk leading here in the first quarter of our opening broadcast of the winter season. Good to have you along with us as North Polk gets a shot contested. Great defense underneath by Van Zee. Rebound controlled by Riddick.
That time she just went straight up. Good defense, like you said. That's exactly how you're supposed to play post D.
Abby Warner whips it out to Tristan Gordon. Warner gets it back on the left corner. Cross court, Van Vark, catch and shoot three. She's as good as they come when she's on. No good, but an offensive rebound. Good hustle by Tristan Gordon. Pella not going away here quietly. Warner triggers a three, top of the key. That's a little long. Pella just has had some decent shots, Brian, but nothing going in. Schaefer the rebound. Up ahead, good transition as Jada Pody, the 6th different Comet to score. 16-7, under a minute to play in our opening quarter. Pella trailing by 9.
Yeah, I have a feeling the Dutch are going to, and they were kind of this way last year, kind of a high-volume shooting team. Good job again by Eliza, giving us another shot.
And she'll get 2 free throws out of it. Tonight's video presentation on the Pella Dutch Live YouTube channel is brought to you by Vander Linden Services. As Eliza Van Zee will get to the line here. Obviously excited on both Tulip City teams, Brian, to have expansive video coverage yet again of all home games. We'll have a radio broadcast with them, and then we will have all road doubleheaders this winter, for the exception, I believe, of one Saturday that we're still trying to see. And, of course, that's the conflict with Central and all the above. But all home doubleheaders during the weekdays we guarantee are on, or all doubleheaders, and then all home games for sure here on Pella Dutch Live or the Pella Christian High School YouTube channel. That's where the Eagles are featured tonight on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard. Rebound after the missed free throw. Both missing for Van Zee. Will go to North Polk. 24 seconds remaining, 22 seconds on the shot clock, so North Polk could essentially hold Brian until the very last second here.
Again, the
so
Dutch.
We'll talk about that shot clock.
I was just going to say the Dutch in a man-to-man defense, trying to create as much hassle as they can to try to run that shot clock down and maybe force a shot that North Polk doesn't want them to take or make.
Well, they'll have to take it, and there's that. We saw the pressure of it, the shot clock violation. Our first of the year, not sponsored this year, Brian, because we didn't know how many we'd have, right? But obviously that was a situation where the shot clock was just a little different from the game clock. No shot anyway as Tauke couldn't get it out. It's 16-7 in favor of the Comets early here on Pella Dutch Live at 92.1 KBLS. Second quarter when we come back after this.
What's the beef about beef? It all comes down to where it comes from. That's why you can count on Hy-Vee Choice Reserve beef. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve comes from only the best Midwest farmers and ranchers. And we say only the best because less than 10% of USDA choice beef even meets Hy-Vee's strict standards for tenderness and flavor. Less than 10%. Hand-selected, cut fresh daily. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve is your choice for the best beef.
McCall Monument is the most trusted monument company in Iowa. This is Reed. We have been here helping families get their perfect memorial for over 150 years.
This is Wyatt. We are the monument experts. We don't plan funerals and we don't sell caskets. We are craftsmen with a full-service shop and artists on staff.
I'm Lee. We have a standard here at McCall Monument. In all our years in business, we have never called on a grieving family, and we never will. In your family's time of need, our family is here for you.
Memories become treasure. McCall Monument.
Back on 92.1 KBLS in our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth. Andrew Schneider, Brian Vanderloon. So far for the Dutch, a very experienced team on the other side, and they've shown it, especially I think in the transition game and some of the quick reactions. I don't think Pella's played a bad quarter, but obviously there's been some breakdowns that North Polk is so savvy at, and it's clear that they've got some experience.
Well, they're 6 for 11 from the field. We're 2 for 12. And a lot of those 6 are coming at point-blank range. So, again, they're attacking the middle of our zone, or our defense here. And good job defense there by Warner.
Block shot for Mia Warner, just as we were talking about that. Dutch by no means are out of this one.
Yeah, a couple three-pointers, and who knows? I mean, that can happen pretty quickly with a lot of our shooters.
Kylie Tauke dribble drive, but unfortunately the fourth Dutch turnover. And then it's turned right back. Good defense on the other side by Warner, who's obviously a multi-sport veteran, had a great volleyball campaign, was the top offensive player for the Dutch this past fall, and is one of the better defenders for the Dutch soccer team. Really the vocal leader of many of those squads, and she'll be that very much again this year.
Following that wonderful Warner tradition of just being a good athlete.
Kylie Tauke, who's looking to make a big step. She's a very, I think, under-the-radar athlete in a lot of ways at the school, despite the fact she's a 3-year starter in softball. She's a state qualifier in track, but obviously I think in basketball didn't have the last couple of years the kind of success that you think would coordinate with that. But this year she's trying to prove herself, and you can see it right away early. She's taking a lot of charge from that backcourt position. She's got a lot of the experience back there.
Well, when things don't get created by the offense, she does a pretty good job.
Block shot by Van Vark.
Yeah, she does a good job of creating off the dribble, and will score some points with that.
It was an offensive rebound and another rebound here for Pella, Haley Van Vark, but then a Dutch turnover right away on the other side. And then a foul coming after the steal was made by Boatman. So a lot happening there, Brian. Block shots and rebounds, oh my. No points scored in about a minute 19 flurry here to start this quarter.
That was actually, I thought, fairly decent defense there by Haley Van Vark. Went straight up, but the offensive Boatman, the player Boatman, did a good job of drawing the contact and drawing the recognition that she was the aggressor and benefited from 2 free throws.
Well, and Michaela Boatman, as we mentioned, the top returning player from this Comets team that was so good a year ago, and obviously showing why she's very basketball savvy. She is 6 of 7 from the line already, and we are just 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes into our second quarter. Live inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. A PellaMotors.com radio game reset as there was a foul off the ball on Mia Warner, her second foul.
Yeah, Mia didn't get set on her screen. She came over to set the screen and was kind of late in getting there. And our offensive player probably left a little bit too early with the dribble, and thus wasn't so much what she did. It was her friend left a little too early off the dribble.
18-9, North Polk with a 9-point advantage. As we were about to say in our game reset here, Pella fell behind early on an 8-0 run, but they've been able to maintain things for now in the meantime. And your game reset presented by Champion Seed dealer Jay Boot. And then Agard makes the bucket in the meantime. And 6 different Comets have scored so far. That's their first bucket of this quarter. Down low to Van Vark. Fell away, but just missed the shot a little too strong. And Izzy McCool comes up with the board for North Polk. 20-9. Runner doesn't go. Tipped around rebound, controlled by Kennedy Van Vark of the Dutch. She's up with it on the timeline. Out to Warner right wing. Here's Tauke. She'll trigger a three. Yes! Kylie Tauke has been the hot hand tonight. 7 points to lead the Dutch. They're still down by 8, 20-12. 5:33 second quarter.
Keeping it within striking distance, so that's a good job.
As coaching staff wanted to bring up the intensity when they took over a year ago. Tauke fighting for a rebound. She'll lose the battle to Jada Pody. Just a little long for Tauke after the missed three. And a shot blocked, but a foul called in the meantime. And that's on Haley Van Vark. And that's her second. So both main post players here for Coach Forsyth, Brian, in some foul trouble.
Yeah, that's a difficult one because, again, it was perception maybe more than reality, and that's kind of the case in the case of a block shot versus getting called for a foul. And
sometimes the mind was made up before in terms of body positioning and
Yeah.
all the above, and it very well could have been a foul,
All
but
that.
there's little factors. McCool will drain in both free throws. A 10-point advantage for North Polk, 22-12, second quarter, 5:10 remaining. Here's Tristan Gordon inside Van Zee. She couldn't connect. It's through her fingertips. Van Zee was fighting for it after, but is the sixth Dutch turnover. Now Abby Warner on the other side trying to play aggressively on Schaefer. She'll get the pass out and get it back. Takes a three. Rattles in and out, no good. And the board controlled by Kennedy Van Vark fighting for it in the paint. Launching a pass up ahead to Gordon. Steps inside the three-point line for a long J, no. And the board is controlled by Schaefer.
yeah, we're getting some shots, Trevor. Boy, I
We're already
apologize.
off. Here's a steal, by the way, by Tristan Gordon, no doubt. I wear it at this point like a badge of honor, right?
Too much turkey and ham. I'll blame that as long as we're talking that.
And Pella gets this extra possession out to Van Vark. Can she take advantage for three? Yes! Kennedy Van Vark gets her first bucket of the night. And a big transition play for the Dutch after the steal. Shot is short. And the rebound will go out of the hands of Abby Warner, controlled by Pody. A second chance here for North Polk, and on the rebound, Abby Warner is fouled. A lot of flurry of action here, halfway point of the second quarter. In case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. Dutch have largely trailed between 7 to 10 points for the majority of this game. We'll see what they have here after a Vision for Less timeout has been called. A Vision for Less timeout, improving lives by helping people see better. If poor visibility is causing you to miss things, take a timeout and visit Vision for Less in Pella to get back into the game. Let's see if we got any scores, Brian, on our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Not seeing much yet. A lot of our guys were getting in action about 15 minutes after we were. So
we're going to be about a quarter and a half ahead of them, I would guess.
we got Knoxville at PCM, boys only tonight on 95.3 KNIA. The Eagles, boys and girls, host Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont, and Indianola is at home versus Southeast Polk on 94.3 KNIA on our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Pella down by 7. Will have the ball after the foul was called, by the way. That was on number 11, Lisa Schaefer. That's her second, so a couple of Dutch and a couple of Comets in some foul trouble. 5 fouls for each team as we approach the second portion of this quarter. And Brian, outside of that one shot clock violation at the end of the quarter, as we talked about, it's not been a factor. These two teams just want to play.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't look like the type that's going to try to pound it. They're going to try to get down the floor, and I would anticipate that's going to be the way a lot of teams are coached, even if that's not their natural ability. Coaches aren't going to want them to throw up a shot, out of desperation. They'll try to score relatively early.
Abby Warner has it bounce out of bounds, and as she was going out, it hit off the foot of a North Polk player and hit her on the arm, and it's the 7th Dutch turnover. And that's been the one area, Brian, where Pella has struggled. They've had some forced turnovers for sure, but quite a few unforced errors as well.
And that comes from when, Anna Vanderwall, your primary ball handler, graduating, and so now a whole crew of girls get to play a role that they didn't play much.
Good backdoor cut, count it, and one for Michaela Boatman, showing off that great athleticism. She's at the line again for her 8th free throw, and we are just a quarter and a half into this game.
Yeah, you can tell, like you said, she just got basketball savvy. She's just calm and cool. She just looks like she's comfortable out there. Nothing is a real struggle, and just a heads-up backdoor cut with all the pressure out at the three-point line.
Three-point play is completed. So after missing her first free throw, Brian, Boatman is at 7 in a row. She's got 9 points on the night to lead the Comets, and they have back up to their largest lead again of 10, 25-15 late here in the second quarter. Abby Warner cuts across the lane and puts it in for a beautiful 2.
Nice little crossover dribble to get her into the lane, and then she finished.
Well, and that's Abby is obviously, we talk a lot about the Warner family and their multi-sport ability. The student section loving that. Nearly a turnover forced by Kennedy Van Vark, but Warner was a state track qualifier as a freshman, a multiple-time all-state soccer player, and it shows, especially in a sport like basketball, if you've got those natural gliding abilities. She showed it off there, and her defense is as tough as they come.
Well, and neither one of them have any fear. I mean, they're willing to step into the moment, and they're willing to do what it takes, and they understand, doing that, and they don't back away from a challenge.
Pella nearly gets another steal, but North Polk will capitalize. Ricochets back to Schaefer, who drains it from downtown. Largest lead of the night for the Comets, 28-17.
Is that their first three?
That is their first make, yes, from downtown.
First make.
They've taken a couple of shots at it, but haven't gotten to go. Warner thought about a three on the other side, nearly traveled, got it to Tauke. Tauke, center of the lane, gets it back out to Kennedy Van Vark. Dutch with both Haley Van Vark and Mia Warner in foul trouble. Warner pops up a three, that's Abby, and then Van Zee will foul North Polk on the way down. She can't believe it, but there was some contact there, and Tuttle hit the deck. My guess is Tuttle doesn't hit the deck without the arm of Van Zee coming down.
Actually,
Riddick is in.
I will. Being an old referee, I will disagree with you on that.
Fair enough.
She actually hit the ball, and the fact that she was holding on so tightly, she really didn't hit her arm.
Well,
If you look, the outside official here almost started walking toward his partner to make sure, and then he kind of backed away and didn't want to make a deal of it. But it really was one of those where she didn't hit her arm or her body. She kind of just hit the ball, which knocked her off balance. And again, from the angle that referee had, that was the call he made, and you're going to get some of those. You're going to lose some of those. So
McCool makes both on the 1-and-1 after the 6th foul for a post player for the Dutch. There are 3 players with 2 fouls, and Pella will throw it away on the inbounds with some pressure coming. 8 turnovers now for the Dutch. 30-17, North Polk keeps building their lead here before the half. Flipping it left side are the Comets. Here's Boatman. This time the runner too long, but so long that it was bad rebound position, getting rewarded an offensive board, and the cleanup crew this time is Schaefer.
Yeah, they got the full package. They got an inside game. They got a player that can handle the ball and can drive and draw fouls and then score.
Tauke, a runner on the other side, doesn't go. A steal here for Gordon. She will put up a kind of desperate shot, and the rebound is then rewarded to Agard, who gets 2 rebounds after the steal by Gordon. Fourth North Polk turnover, and then right down the other side, it's Boatman, and she's up to 11 points. Just like that, in a blink of an eye, it goes, Brian, from a 7-8 point game to a 17-18 point game.
Yeah, that is just the way this can happen real quickly, and it can get away from you. But here's where that first gut check is.
Tauke will answer. Tauke's in double figures. She hits her second 3 of the night, 10 for Kylie, and it's 34-20. Dutch have played some decent defense otherwise, but have not been able to capitalize on some of those opportunities that North Polk has. Down low, it's Becca Agard. Turnaround jumper doesn't go. Off the post move, and then a jump ball on the rebound will get it over to Pella.
Again, we did a pretty good job defensively. We were fortunate that the rebound that we didn't secure was a just tie-up, and we got the jump ball arrow. But, again, it looks like we might be a little bit gassed, which, again, we have a inexperienced bunch, and a lot of girls are going to probably play more minutes than they're quite used to. And it's early season.
It is.
And they maybe had turkey.
They also may have had some of it. 53 seconds remaining, 23 on the shot clock. Kennedy says no worries, but she'll miss the 3 left side. Izzy McCool racking up the rebounds, her 4th. Loose ball on the floor, stolen away by Kennedy Van Vark. 5th North Polk turnover. Drive no good. Offensive rebound, though, by Elia Riddick. Dribble drive, Kylie Tauke, count it, and 1. That's your drive to the basket presented by Pingle's Home Store. Kylie Tauke, the three-point play opportunity. Drive on over to Pingle's Home Store on the northwest corner of the square in Pella and find out how you can score with a variety of furniture, flooring, and more. Kylie Tauke, an early candidate for our player of the game presented by McCall Monument. 12 points, Brian.
Well, she's another one that doesn't shy away from the moment. She knows that the bulk of trying to create things on offense is going to fall on her shoulders, and she's stepping up to the plate and doing a nice job of that tonight.
Shot clock is off. North Polk has a 12-point lead, 34-22. 17 seconds remain here in the second. And obviously now they can hold the shot clock. The one, I would say disadvantage, but it's a 35-second shot clock, so there still can be possessions like this where it's held. Dribble, drive, no. Offensive rebound before the buzzer, yes. Izzy McCool with a bit of a backbreaker right before the horn, and it's 36-22. North Polk on top of the Dutch. Our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show when we come back after this on 92.1 KBLS.
BK Service and Auto Repair in Pella is a brand new service shop for all your vehicle and small motor needs. Brandon Bloodgood purchased the old car wash on Washington Street and turned it into an auto repair service shop. Bring your vehicles, side-by-sides, boats. If it has a motor, Brandon can fix it. Located at the old car wash on Washington Street, call him today at 641-629-9053. 641-629-9053. Give him a call right now.
Hi, this is Brandon with BK Service. Come on over and see me.
Hi, this is Tim Tekurotenhuis, owner of Culver's Restaurant here in Pella. If you got someone on your holiday shopping list that loves Culver's, I've got a great deal for you. Stop in and pick up a $40 Culver's gift card, and I'll give you a Culver's value basket for free. As the name implies, the gift card makes a great gift, and you can keep the value basket for yourself or give that away too. It's up to you. Buy a $40 gift card and get a free value basket this holiday season at Culver's in Pella, where we're locally owned and involved in your community.
Pella Middle School academic support coach Nick Feinart is one of the staff members who works on life skills lessons that they're teaching 7th and 8th graders. He gives one example that we can all learn from.
If you can find time in your day to just sit there in a quiet space with some silent music to just let your brain turn off. A lot of these middle school kids are just rolling a million miles an hour, and to just sit there and be still for a minute, it's almost like a reboot for our hard drive, so it's good sometimes.
Preparing everyone to learn, lead, and achieve. Pella Community Schools, Pella.
Are you considering home renovations this fall or winter? It's the perfect time to finish that basement, remodel your kitchen or bathroom, or even build that addition you've been dreaming about. Kent and DeHeisen Carpentry can turn your dreams into a reality, but their fall and winter schedule is filling up fast. Kent has over 20 years of experience and is licensed and insured. DeHeisen Carpentry will work with you from start to finish, ensuring the job is done right and to your satisfaction. For your next project, call the professionals at DeHeisen Carpentry in Pella, 780-1858.
Have you ever thought about how many hours we spend in pajamas? When was the last time you bought yourself or someone bought you a new pair? At Embellish, we have the softest loungewear and the coziest pajamas for all your gifting needs this season. They'll make you go, ah, the moment you slip them on, giving anyone who wears them the ultimate feeling of rest and relaxation after a long day. Let's celebrate the joy of the season together this year at Embellish and Pella. Luxurious comfort is only a gift away.
The last thing you want to do when it's 30 below zero is fight with your garage door. DeYoung Door Service recommends checking over your door now, before the bitter cold, inspecting the hinges, rollers, cables, and gears to ensure everything's working properly. If you're not sure what to look for, that's okay. Just call the gurus of garage doors at DeYoung Door Service.
Hi, this is Kurt DeYoung. It's not good enough to know what you do. You need to specialize in it. We specialize in sales, installation, and service of garage doors. We're the gurus of garage doors. DeYoung Door Service in Pella.
This is the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. For tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change, and full mechanical work on your vehicle, stop and see Shonda Ward and his crew next to Walmart and Pella at Central Tire and Auto. Our first Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update of the winter takes us to Indianola, where Southeast Polk leads 19-12 after one quarter. That's live on 94.3 KNIA. Brian, let's go inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber. 12 points for Kylie Tauke. She leads the way among individual scores. Kennedy Van Vark has 3. Abby Warner with 2. Mia Warner with 3. Eliza Van Zee has 2 of her own. Michaela Boatman leads the way for North Polk. She's got 11. Izzy McCool with 8 4 for Becca Agard, 5 for Lisa Schaefer to lead the way for the Comets. 8 turnovers for the Dutch, 5 for North Polk. Rebound-wise, obviously not so great news there for the Dutch. We can let you get into some of your shooting numbers and kind of talk about where we're at on that side of things.
Yeah, North Polk was 11 for 28, shooting 39%. The Dutch 8 for 24 at 35%. So the big difference is North Polk's capitalizing at the free throw line, which is, they got a huge, I don't know if the Dutch hit a free throw or not. I don't remember that they did. I know they shot a few, but I don't know.
They got a couple from Kylie.
So, but when you compare the difference, yeah, if you were just taking the field goals made, it's a much closer ball game. But you got to add those two together. North Polk is taking advantage.
Well, they are doubling the rebound total unofficially, 22-11. So that's part of it. There's been a lot of shots taken, but North Polk's gotten quite a few second chances, and they're winning the turnover margin 8-5. So if you're losing both of those categories, Brian, it's never a winning formula.
You will typically be behind unless you're just going nuts from the three-point line, which the Dutch aren't at this point yet. But yeah, those are two key and critical things in any ball game.
Inside the Numbers, delivered by Pella Fiber, where every home gets a gig. Join today at PellaFiber.com. This broadcast of 92.1 KBLS is brought to you by BSN Sports and Windmill Print and Stitch in Pella. Windmill Print and Stitch is a locally owned, decorated apparel company right here in the Tulip City, and they're a proud partner of BSN Sports. If you need apparel for your team or business, call our very own Phil Hemming with BSN Sports at 620-8337 or stop into the BSN Sports Windmill Print and Stitch office on Southeast 14th Street in Pella. Phil, this is the only split broadcast we have, but he'll be joining us for the boys game tonight just to get our audience warmed up to the two voices they'll be primarily hearing alongside me and Trevor. John Holterhouse had some responsibilities. Of course, his fall could go all the way till December now that Emily's in the NCAA tournament. Glad to have you back on a more full schedule. Phil and you guys will be alternating full broadcasts for us, but tonight we wanted to reintroduce our audience to the familiar faces that will be back this winter.
So when the color commentary takes a notch upward, it won't be my voice that's making that happen. It will be Phil Hemming. Bringing the commentary to a new level in the second game.
Well, we'll see. Or you never know which way it could go.
We'll leave
Phil,
that up to the listener.
How much turkey did Phil have this weekend?
I'm going to guess he probably did okay.
I think we all did. That's why we're all just trying to wake up here and get things going here. We're going to take a quick timeout. Brian will have his second half adjustments when we come back, presented by DeYoung Door Service. This is the Central Tire and Auto Radio Halftime Show on 92.1 KBLS.
Gilchrist Jewett & Pella is your local source for windows from trusted manufacturers including Marvin, Anderson, Gherkin, and Silverline. They also stock and supply the top-of-the-line composite decking materials from TimberTech and Westbury Railings for a relaxing, family-friendly, and minimum maintenance area to enjoy for decades. As always, Gilchrist Jewett welcomes all contractors and homeowners alike for all your quality lumber, building supplies, flooring, cabinets, garage doors, and more in Pella.
Hi, this is Dr. Tim Yoder, the Tri-County Veterinary Clinic veterinarian. If you're heading out of town for the holidays and your pet can't go along, have him boarded with us. He'll receive exercise 3 times a day, he'll be fed based on a schedule you set up, and he'll be given a nice bath the day before you take him home. To schedule a reservation, call Tri-County Veterinary Clinic at 628-4040, where your pet's good health is our #1 concern.
They're the veterinarians.
Yes, we are. We're the veterinarians.
They do take care of pets because they love them.
This is the Central Tire and Auto Radio Halftime Show. For tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change and full mechanical work. Stop and see Shonda Ward and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. Brian, let's take a look at our second half adjustments presented by DeYoung Door Service. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination for a game one this has been a poor performance for the Dutch. They're playing a very good team that has a ton of experience, but there are obvious things that if they want to be competitive in these games, say 2 months down the road, that they're going to want to learn, even here in the immediate term for this game, but moving forward.
I got 5, and actually number 6 is probably the most important. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to roll through them. None of them are going to surprise anybody. Take care of the basketball. We had too many unforced turnovers. Second is we got to defend the post. We got to be able to help the post or make that pass into the post more difficult. And once she gets it, we got to play smart and try to have them shoot over us. Eliza Van Zee did a great job of that. I think we let them drive too much from the three-point line. When we went out and tried to contest a three-point shot, we got to come out under control. We got to make them work a little harder because when we came off of it to stop the drive, they could dump it into their post player, and they had an easy bucket. Number 4 was rebound. Once we made them miss a shot, we didn't do a great job of cleaning up the boards. Part of that was some of our post players got into a little bit of foul trouble. So as a team, everybody's got to do their part If our leading rebounder is a guard, that's okay. Number 5, we got to keep attacking. Keep attacking on offense. I think that's got to be our mindset. Tauke did a great job of that. I think everybody else has to buy into that. My 6th one, most important one, early season. I think as the coach, my number one thing I would have told him is I think we have to learn how to have a sense of urgency. No offense to anybody, but it looks like a Tuesday night non-conference after a Thanksgiving weekend kind of a mentality out there. They're going through the motions. They're not doing anything really horrible, but there's not a sense of urgency. Let's see if we can knock off a really highly rated team. They're just kind of going through and just playing the game like you would on Sunday after Thanksgiving with your family. So I want to see a little more sense of urgency from the Dutch.
We'll see if that all shakes out in our second half adjustments presented by the Gurus of Garage Doors at DeYoung Door Service.
We're the Gurus of Garage Doors, DeYoung Door Service in Pella.
And that wraps up our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show on 92.1 KRLS. Do have another Straver Cellular Instant Radio update from Eagle Lane where it is 17-16. By the way, Phil says just the turducken for him. So that might be his secret sauce. He's going to come out here and kill it, which he normally does. He's a great commentator, but he might be the one who's lifting us up here tonight. We'll see what happens in our game 2. But yes, Pella Christian in a good one with a ranked team in Class 2A over on Eagle Lane, 17-16. That's live on KRLS 2 and also on the Pella Christian High School YouTube channel, sponsored by 92.1 KRLS. You are listening to Pella High Basketball live inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth on 92.1 KRLS. Dutch and Comets will flip sides. It's 36-22 in favor of the number 4 ranked team in Class 4A, North Polk, and they'll start with the ball.
Well, as typical of these kind of games, the first 3 or 4 minutes is going to be indicative of how the rest of the game is going to go. I know that's real shocking, but, if we can hit a couple of buckets and play some good defense, get this to a 10 or 12 point or even lower kind of a margin, then all of a sudden we have a fun fourth quarter ahead. But if we just kind of collapse here and don't play good defense, it could be a long game.
There was some foul trouble, in case you missed it, presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. Mia Warner, Haley Van Vark, Eliza Van Zee, all post players with 2 fouls coming into the half. Offensive rebound, by the way, long out to Abby Tuttle. She has 6 of 23 rebounds now for North Polk. In case you missed it, presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. Boatman launches a long 3, no good, but another offensive rebound for North Polk. It's Ashley Owen, who came in off the bench first half. This time Warner will clear it after another Comets miss, and she's up the floor with tempo. That's a player the Dutch were missing on the floor, was Mia Warner and her multi-talented skill set. Kick out 3 on the way for Kylie Tauke, no good, but tracking it down was Mia Warner. She'll get it down to Haley Van Vark, who is fouled from behind.
So there again, a little bit of aggressiveness. Warner kind of penetrating, found Tauke in the corner, and we had a great shot with her feet set. We'll take that all day and all season.
Well, and it's just a different atmosphere when Mia's on the floor. She'll get the inbounds here about 12 feet from the basket. Launches it back to Tristan Gordon, left wing. Gordon with one hand dribbles it, shuffles it back out to Warner between the circles. She'll work it left side of the three-point line out to Tauke. Tauke thought about a dribble drive, instead back out to Gordon. Gordon will penetrate right side, stops, gets it out to Kennedy Van Vark on the wing. Can't get to it cleanly, but she'll pop it up off the dribble and in. That's our raise the roof moment of the game. Can the Dutch get something going? Presented by Randall Roofing. Kennedy Van Vark starts the scoring in the half when the moment arises, and it's time for a new roof. Think Randall Roofing. Dutch trying to get a run going, but with the answer, it's the talented Michaela Boatman who makes it look easy on the difficult play.
Kind of weaving her way through, but a really nice drive before that, like you said, from Kennedy. Just kind of a little step through, Euro step, and then finished.
Gordon underneath the basket, kicks it out. Kennedy Van Vark, catch and shoot 3, off the rim, no good. It's Schaefer. But a steal for Van Vark. Up ahead to Haley Van Vark. Dribble drive, no, but she's fouled. 2 shots coming for Haley Van Vark, a senior. And again, the senior class made up of Tauke, Warner, and Van Vark. Also Eliza Van Zee off the bench, who will see a lot of time, as we saw in the first half.
Yeah, and again, I think we're seeing a little bit more of a sense of urgency. I like what I'm seeing so far in this quarter. Offensively, trying to make some things happen, coming up with a steal. Some of the rest of the stuff will fall into place as the season continues to go, and this game as well. But it's kind of a mentality. I think we don't have enough talent that we can just kind of go through the motions. We got to make some things happen.
And unfortunately for the Dutch, they've been ice cold at the line. They started out 2 of 2. They are 0 of their last 5, so they've not been able to take advantage of the charity stripe when it's come in front of them. top of the key three. That would have been a big backbreaker. No, but another offensive rebound for Abby Tuttle. She's got 7 boards, misses the putback, and Mia Warner clears it for the Dutch. Down 38-24, 5:53 remaining here in the third. A game reset presented by champion seed dealer Jay Boot. Top of the key, here's Van Vark out to Tauke left wing. Hands it off back at the top of the circle for Gordon. Underneath, Van Vark up and under move, just can't finish. Good look, but not strong enough. And the rebound is controlled by number 14, Ashley Owen. On the other side, popped up for 2. In transition, it's Abby Tuttle, her second bucket.
Really nice step-through move by Van Vark. She did that a lot last year, as I recall, coming off the bench. And
this one was a little more confidence to it, too.
Hope they keep going to her.
But a turnover from Gordon looking for Mia Warner. Warner's not going to give up on the play, and she'll hit the deck trying to get the steal. So transition game here for North Polk, and they will get behind the defense just by a shade. It's Izzy McCool who's in double figures, and that'll force a 30-second vision for less timeout for head coach Blaine Forsyth. Dutch with 2 turnovers in the half, Brian, and they've been costly.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers, and then, the other thing that's going to happen, when you are extremely and maybe to a point of being over-aggressive with your defense after you make a turnover, quite often, you end up triple teaming at the half-court line, and a good quality team like North Polk will advance the ball past that triple team, and then you got an easy layup, which they capitalized on. So, again, kind of picking your spots where you be aggressive, at least defensively. But again, I'm going to keep harping on this because, again, this is all about a learning process. I think the Dutch, trying to find their identity, need to continue to stay aggressive.
And we're going to call that aggressiveness our creative idea drawn up by Brand Appeal. For branding, print, web, or video, call Brand Appeal. They're relentless for you. On the other side of a vision for less timeout, 5:03 remaining. North Polk extending their lead now to 18, 42-24. Dutch have felt like they've been in this game for a long time, but they're very much out of it right now as we approach the halfway point of our third quarter. Got to get something going on offense. It's Mia Warner bringing it down the floor. Warner dribbles all the way to the post, finding an open Van Vark, who has good patience to wait for the defense to fly by her, and she gets her first bucket of the night, 42-26.
Again, coming out of the good aggressive penetration by Mia Van Vark, or Mia Warner, excuse me.
We got 2 Warners, 2 Van Varks. Last year we had 2 Annas that started. It was a whole, Pella basketball does have a lot of the same name game. There's a turnover, the third of the half already, just 5 in the first half for North Polk. They're up to 8 now, and Pella has matched that total here in the half. They've got 3 turnovers of their own. Here's Kennedy Van Vark, hands it off to Tristan Gordon. Gordon, there's the 4th Pella turnover, as it's stolen away right away by Lisa Schaefer. Schaefer gets it out to Abby Tuttle. Kick out, 3 on the way. It's short. And Tristan Gordon fought for the rebound. No jump ball called, and they're going to call the foul instead on Gordon. That's what Coach Forsyth was looking for, the held ball. And he will not win the argument. It will stay North Polk basketball.
Again, not a grand sense of urgency on the defensive board there, but that's how we learn.
We have a Strawver Cellular Instant Radio update. Southeast Polk 32, Indianola 18 at the half. A very new look Indianola team without the likes of 1,000-point scorer Lauren Blake. The tip in, I think, actually went off the hand of Haley Van Vark, but that's going to get credited to Boatman, who gets the offensive rebound and 2 more points. That was just bad luck there for the Dutch.
Yeah.
Van Vark was in good position. Tauke, the runner, can't get it to go. And a fight for the rebound is won by the Comets, number 33, Agard. And she'll get the ball ahead up to Boatman. Boatman triggers a 3, and she pours it in. And just like that, Brian, 2 really quick buckets by Boatman. She's up to 18 points, 47-26.
You can tell the good quality players that have played a lot of basketball. They're just under control. They're calm and cool. They don't let a little bit of, the game as it's flowing rattle them. They just play the game.
47-26. Tauke tries to float it in, forcing the shot. And then jump ball on the rebound will keep the alternating arrow here with the Dutch. But, Brian, I noticed you said aggressiveness, and there's something about that, and Pella trying to be, but there's also something about being out of control in the last couple possessions. You want to be aggressive, but you also have to find your windows, right? There's got to be a little bit of measure to it.
That's exactly what this early season's about. That finding that, because there's a subtle difference.
Yes.
And, and I don't care whether you're a girl, whether you're a boy, whether you're at this level or at the pro level, there's a difference.
Nearly tipped and stolen away by The Comets still knocking out of bounds, up 47-26 here in the third quarter. 3:06 remaining. Dutch still with the ball. It's Kennedy Van Vark set to get this one from Mia Warner at the half-court line. Van Vark dribbles top of the circle. On the floor, left side, shuffles it over to Abby Warner. Warner out to Tauke. Tauke, center of the lane, and the shot clock violation. And that's one thing I didn't even notice, Brian, but I need to take more to account that inbounds play. They only had about 5 seconds left.
Obviously, I don't think our gals noticed either. So that too will be all about learning for them and us.
North Polk, preseason number 4 team, is 0-1, but to a very good DCG team. Schaefer, having a nice night, has 7. Left side here is Tauke. Puts up a long shot, doesn't go. It was inside the three-point line, and then a foul on the ensuing rebound. And that will go against the Dutch. Agard, her 6th rebound. Pella with some pressure defense out now, down by 23.
You know, jumping back to the whole aggressive idea, since we have a quick second here.
Go ahead.
Part of what I'm saying is that Pella's got to learn how to run their offense with a purpose and not just be handing the ball out and stuff.
There has not been a ton of purpose here in this quarter. And I would say that North Polk has had that purpose. They saw something at the half they liked, and they are starting to run away with this one, 51-26. Kennedy Van Vark, top of the circle, out to Abby Warner. Warner back out to Van Vark. Right wing, 3 on the way is good. Kennedy Van Vark is the top scorer on the Dutch a season ago and looking to maintain that pace week to week and game to game this year. That was one area of concern, I would say, is maybe not the right word, but she had some big games last year, Brian. There were some games then where she disappeared. If Pella's going to have success, it's not to put pressure on a high school girl, but she's going to need to be a more consistent threat scoring.
Yeah, and that is, like you said, you know, teams they're going to scout you, they're going to watch, and they're going to know that, you know, if we can take away one player and make other people beat us, you know, and she's not the first that's run into that challenge. I know she's worked hard off season and all fall, and I think she's ready for the challenge. It'll just be a matter whether, you know, for her, whether her shots are falling, because she seems to be able to get shots off.
Yes.
Just a matter whether they're falling or not.
Izzy McCool is perfect at the foul line. That's another area you look at here, Brian. Pella is, not getting to the line a whole lot by comparison, 2 of 7, but North Polk has hit 13 free throws in a row. They're 13 of 14 from the stripe. Tauke, corner 3, right side of the iron, clangs off, no good. Another rebound. So not only Brian, Pella missing the shots, they're not getting the rebounds.
Yeah.
North Polk's getting in transition. It's just a really veteran team. Yeah. And there was a throwaway. Warner got the rebound and then ended up passing it away back to North Polk.
Yeah, I think she was thinking she was about to go out of bounds, and she was just trying to push it ahead and hoping one of her teammates was at the other end of that.
53-29, Comets running away with this one. Back iron on the long shot, no good. And then the offensive rebound for McCool, 12 points, 7 rebounds. And Pella's 3rd foul of the half, 4th now. 1:11 remaining here in the third, 53-29 in case you missed it. Presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic, an 8-0 run for North Polk set the tone. Pella was able to maintain that advantage and keep it close for really most of the first half, but the Comets have come out firing here in this quarter, already up to 18 points to Pella's 7 in the third.
Yeah, they're just a good team. They you know, they've got us down. They got us scampering a little bit in scamper mode, and they handle the ball. We'll go back to our pregame, and, you know, they're handling the ball and getting relatively easy shots, sometimes second shots, sometimes third shots, and that's been the difference this quarter for sure.
16 points for McCool, who is perfect, 8 of 8 at the line tonight. And that's not helped either, right? North Polk's winning everything in the margins. They're winning rebounds, they're winning turnovers. Warner off the screen 3, wide of the mark. And a jump ball on the rebound between Warner and the Comets. And they'll give it over to North Polk. 55-29. This game has gotten out of hand in a hurry. But again, give credit where credit's due. The Comets feel like they're going to be one of the 8 teams in Wells Fargo and maybe more. They got really 4 of 5 starters back. Most of their bench rotation back from a season ago that played considerable minutes. This is a veteran team, and it is showing here in the second half. Reach and foul on Warner as Michaela Boatman came free. By the way, Delivery.com is the restaurant delivery service in Pella with great local restaurants, including George's, Canaritos, Yumoto, Liberty Street Kitchen, Dutch Fix, and more. You can have fresh food delivered right to your home or business. Make sure you order this week. See if you're our next fan of the game coming up on Friday, presented by Delivery.com. So don't have any winners yet, but we'll get those. We're just starting the new season, Brian. Here's a tip and a steal for Riddick. Dribble drive to the basket, off the bench, good look. Ends up getting her own rebound, and Pella will keep the ball for now, and they do. Dutch still on their half of the floor, down by 26. Here's Gordon on the outside. Hands it off to Kennedy Van Vark. Step back off the dribble, three is short. And it's Michaela Boatman and her 18 points, grabbing her third rebound. Down to Schaefer, 9 seconds remaining. North Polk going to keep the pressure going, and a foul called on Mia Warner. And two more at the line for the very talented Comets. As this is Kaylee Kuldeka off the bench for North Polk.
I was just going to say, when we were talking pregame, this was a tall order for our gals.
That's, by the way, the first North Polk free throw missed in 15 tries. They were coming in 15 to 16, had made 15 in a row, now 15 to 17. Go ahead.
But I was just going to say, as we said, this is going to be a learning process. It's a long season. We've seen some good things. We've seen a lot of things that, the gals are obviously going to need to work on and improve. But
Warner at the buzzer can't get the shot to go. And we will continue.
That's the joys of November basketball.
That's the beauty of it, too. It's just game 2. 19 games remaining after this one. 56-29. We'll have more after this inside our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth. 56-29, all North Polk.
Configuring the Bluetooth. Deciding who controls the music. Remembering where you parked. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things. Like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense.
Ask me, Lance Klein, at the Verduff Agency in Pella. Auto owners make sense for you.
Gordon & Associates Ltd. has offices in Oskaloosa and Creston, and they serve clients throughout most of Iowa. With more than 70 years of service and a growing staff of highly qualified employees, they provide clients with assistance in water treatment, distribution, wastewater collection and treatment, street construction and renovation, stormwater management, and residential, commercial, and industrial developments, in addition to a variety of specialty projects. Today, Gordon & Associates Ltd. continues to grow and prosper, building upon the solid foundation of its predecessors. Give Gordon & Associates a call today at 641-672-2526.
You're listening to Pella High Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on FM 92.1 KBLS Pella Knoxville, KBLS HD1 Knoxville Pella. Andrew Schneider and Brian Vandaloon inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. Number 4 in Class 4A, North Polk looking every bit the part here, 56-29 over the Dutch after 3 quarters. Pella starting, it's Riddick down low, finding Mia Warner, who gets it to go off the window and in.
I was just going to say, to me, this is one of the more important quarters because to me, it's going to see who's got heart for the Dutch and who's just going to,
roll over,
toss in the towel, roll over, however you want to say it. But who's going to play 4 quarters?
What a nifty move that was by Michaela Boatman. She's at 20 points.
She just plays at a different level, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's one of those players, and no offense to the girls who have suited up for the green and white the past couple years, but Brian Pella has not had that kind of a player in a long time, back to the state tournament days. Down low again, count it, and one. Michaela Boatman making it look a lot easier than this game really is out there.
Yeah, she's just a good athlete, and, she handles the ball. She handles herself. She's got good control over her body. She can finish well. She can shoot. She's got the full package, especially at this level of a game.
By the way, on our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard, Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont 34. Pella Christian 29, that's at the half, and one count it for Boatman. The only miscue she's had of the night, Brian, she missed her first free throw. Everything else has been phenomenal.
I was going to say, we got off to a great start. I thought that's going to be good.
Now a 30-point lead later here for the Comets. Warner trying to shoot through a lot of traffic, can't get it to go. Becca Agard gets the rebound. Also on our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard, Southeast Polk 32, Indianola 18 at the half, and we are getting to continuous clock territory. And a vision for less timeout here, a full timeout, and we will take it with them. 63-31. Dutch on Well, near the continuous clock line, I was about to say 63-31. More after this.
If you are struggling to afford internet service for your household, Pella Fiber wants you to know that there's a new government program that may be able to help. It's called the Affordable Connectivity Program, and it provides up to a $30 monthly discount to qualifying households. Find more information about the Affordable Connectivity Program, including if you qualify and how to enroll, by visiting PellaFiber.com or call Pella Fiber at 628-4173.
Did you know 1 in 7 adult pets have a significant finding on a routine blood panel that requires follow-up?
This is Dr. Glenda Van Wyk at Van Wyk Veterinary Clinic. We all know the importance of a yearly physical and blood panel for ourselves, but the same applies for our furry family members. Catching disease early allows us to treat early and control or slow down disease progression. Call us to schedule your pet's physical and ask us about our discounted blood panels to check your pet's health. Van Wyk Veterinary Clinic.
Quality, compassion, family.
Andrew Schneider and Brian Vandaloon in our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. It is all Comets here, 63-31. North Polk Keene firing out of the second half gate, in case you missed it, presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic, and they haven't looked back since. A team, Brian, that we fully expect to contend for a spot, not only for the Raccoon River Conference Championship in a very loaded league sports-wise there, but obviously a whole lot more coming up in February and March.
Yeah, I would say that would be their expectation, barring injury or anything crazy. But yeah, that timeout, I think Coach Forsyth saw some of the things that we saw where, I think he wanted his team's effort to be a full 4 quarters, and when they gave up that layup, an easy one at that, I think he had seen enough and kind of had a quick conversation with his gals.
Still 6:22 remaining here in the fourth. Riddick is out to Tauke. Tauke, baseline dribble drive, has it knocked away. Block shot, and the rebound is controlled by North Polk. 63-31 here in the fourth quarter. As Pella obviously out of contention in this game. Shot misses. Riddick comes down with a rebound.
We got 5 Comets waiting to enter the game at the next dead ball.
See the old line change, as they often refer to it in hockey, of course. There's a whistle and a foul. You can tell it's a first night, Brian, because I'm looking around for my pen, and I've seen.
Here, I'll loan you one of mine. No extra charge.
You sure about that?
Yeah,
I mean, we got to get
absolutely.
that shooting percentage here in this very contested.
Well, I kind of lost track of that a couple of times ago. So
that's all right.
More important that you have one.
We will get there, I promise, folks. It's November basketball for those of us up here, too. Here's Tristan Gordon. We got 5 new Comets on the floor, some of whom we've seen earlier. Tauke can't get it to go. She was the leading scorer at the half, in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic.
They're the veterinarians.
Greta Dillinger is in. Here's Ashley Owens. She saw a lot of time in the third quarter. Ava Husak was in first half. That ball launched out of bounds will go to Pella. Number 20, we mentioned that one. Let's see who else is in. 24, Jada Pody was in first half. Mia Warner out. And then number 23, Kaylee Kuldeka of the Comets in. Pella still a mix of starters and regulars in here. Tauke. Riddick also on the floor. Has it knocked out of her hands. Haley Van Vark kicks it out to Kennedy Van Vark. Open 3 on the way. Can't get it to go. Tristan Gordon. The putback shot is in. She's on the board.
Nice job of crashing the boards from way outside and then finish. That's a great job by Gordon.
Oh, but good answer in the corner for Dillinger. Nice shot. 66-33. North Polk smelling the continuous clock. Blood in the water here. Van Vark's runner no good. Haley Van Vark gets the rebound, and then she is fouled. So the offensive rebound goes to Van Vark. And she's at the line for 2 more. Pella just 2 of 7 from the charity stripe tonight. Here is Kelsey Tauke into the game, younger sister of Kylie, as the sisters will exchange a high five towards assistant coach Dan Tauke, dad on the bench. A Tauke family affair here for that exchange. Van Vark gets the inbounds, can't get it to go. Riddick fights for the ball on the floor, and she is fouled on the rebound. 66-33, 4:33 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. The road ahead is presented by Pella Motors, as Riddick will get this ball to go. Riddick's on the board for the Dutch.
Nice
JV mainstay last couple years.
Yeah, nice little step-through move for her, and then off the glass.
Comments on their half of the floor. Looking for the answer again. Top of the key. Dillinger this time can't get it to go. Kelsey Tauke will get the rebound, her first of the night, 66-35. Pella will take this show to a much more competitive game, at least on paper, Friday, as they hit the road to Norwalk. It's Toy for Tots night, by the way, so make sure to bring your Toys for Tots donations. You can make them online as well. Norwalk and Pella. Trevor Castle and Mike Effner, our Norwalk voice, will have the call for us over on 92.1 KRLS. The road ahead is presented by Pella Motors, where you'll drive away happy. That's the Pella Motors guarantee. Brian, as we try to expedite some of our post-game coverage here, do have our, of course, Cabinet Design Pella Radio post-game show, but our McCall Monument monumental play and player of the game. It feels like that run right out of the half for North Polk was such a big pivotal time, right? Yeah. You're down by 12. If you're going to be in the game, you need to make your own run, but obviously it was North Polk's day.
Yeah, it really was, and you know, led by their senior, you know, leading scorer, Boatman. You know, she just did every aspect of the game and did it well.
And Michaela Boatman, our McCall Monument monumental player of the game, phenomenal, 23 points in her second game of the season.
I wanted to point out that Oltman is in the game for the Dutch.
Yep, I was about to say Jenna Oltman making a varsity appearance. Out to Kelsey Tauke. Tauke gets the runner to go. Nice shot as she stopped right on that second brick, right side of the lane, and a Vision for Less substitution timeout as Maggie Thompson. Also, a lot of height for Pella that we haven't seen yet. Maggie's part of that. Been a solid JV player last couple seasons as well. 68-37, 3:23 remaining. In your McCall Monument monumental play and player of the game. Don't burden your loved ones with planning a memorial after you're gone. Pre-plan yours and trust the family at McCall Monument, the area's leading monument designer and installer.
I'm thinking Kelsey Tauke will be a contributor before the season's over. More so than just these end-of-the-game moments.
Count it and one for Ava Husak. Foul called on the Dutch, 70-37. Tauke's a long 5'8".
She kind of has that smooth feel to the way she plays the game and moves on the floor. So I think as she gains a little bit more experience and will get some opportunities, obviously, I think she'll be a contributor off the bench for Coach Forsyth.
Sorry, Kylie would be upset with me. Kylie's, or I guess Kelsey would be. There's a shot that's in for Oltman. And am I right to make that connection,
yes,
Brian?
I believe you are.
We saw an Oltman not too long ago pour in just about as many threes as has ever been scored by a Pella basketball player for a couple-year run. Thompson gets it out left side, and that's a turnover Dutch. Well, where was I going on that thought before, Brian? The Tauke sisters, Kelsey's 5'9", Kylie is 5'8".
Ah, there we go.
Officially. So Kelsey would be upset that I did not give her the inch and had the older sister's height switched up.
Or who knows if that's actual truth. Maybe that was just a older sister.
Maybe Kelsey,
made it that way.
Kelsey's a little bit sneakier on her toes and had the tippy toes going, you know. And Coach Forsyth missed it on the measurement, or Todd, whoever does that. Here's Oltman. Spins it out to Tristan Gordon. Gordon on the way. Three, no good. Rebound controlled by North Polk. 71-40. Shot misses. We are melting away the clock here with 2 minutes remaining. Maggie Thompson the rebound.
Shoot it up.
Out to Gordon. Of course, Tristan had a couple of multi-sport talented older brothers coming through the way as well. Always good to see the generations continuing those athletics.
You know who I sat and visited with before this game? I got to throw this out because I told Mike Vint, former Pella girls basketball coach.
Oh, he's in the house.
That I coach. His grandson is playing over on the JV side in the other gym.
Longtime girls golf coach, too.
Yep.
A lot of success.
And we had a great conversation. He just celebrated a birthday. It was so great to see Coach Vint again.
Coach Vint, I didn't get him in basketball, but interviewed him a couple times in golf before he turned those coats over. Shot made here for Lauren Osborne off the bench. So good to see Coach Vint. And obviously he's got a lot of family here in town still.
He does, and now he's got some grandsons coming up through the ranks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Your Dutch bingo card has been filled out if you're following along at home, by the way.
Well, it just reminded me again of what a great influence these coaches are on these kids. I mean, years and years ago that we coached, and you still have some old players wishing him happy birthday on Facebook, and just what an influence he was in their life. And
Riddick makes the first free throw.
Yeah, it just warmed my heart because it's really what high school. You look at the games, and we all love to win, and we've had great success here in Pella, and we even had great success back then, in the girls' basketball realm. But when you look at the big picture of life, it's really cool to see what happens here.
Running shot on the other side, no good. A game reset and a great story told by Brian Van Loon. Brought to you by Champion Seed and local dealer Jay Boot. Altman trying left side three, no good. But the offensive rebound.
There we go.
And more foul shots coming here for the Dutch. After the offensive board by Jenna Altman, 46.4 seconds remaining. Our video presentation on Pella Dutch Live is presented tonight by Vanderlinden Services. We've got a full slate of sponsors joining us for the video stream this year through the Pella Athletic Booster Club. Sign up today. Contact the Pella Athletic Booster Club if you're interested in the future of being a video stream sponsor in partnership with 92.1 KRLS. Across the 7 o'clock hour on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, we are at halftime on both of our other games. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont girls 34, PC 29 over on Eagle Lane. And Indianola trailing Southeast Polk 32-18. Altman makes the first. Maggie Thompson gets the rebound after the miss on the second. 37 seconds remaining. Shot clock at 29 here for Kelsey Tauke. Tauke dribbling left wing, center of the lane, loses the dribble. Hands it off to Abby Warner. Warner puts it up, and she's got free throws coming. A lot of work to be done these next two practices, but that's the beauty of the early season practices, Brian. You now have a couple games worth of film to work on a lot of things, and obviously Pella knows that there's a considerable gap right now between them and a top 4 team in the state, but that can close as the season wears on.
And it typically does. I mean, you get a quality coaching staff like Pella has, and I got full confidence that, this will be a lot different looking team come January, February.
Warner ends up making both. And she will get a steal for her trouble with 19 seconds remaining. Kicking it out to Eliza Van Zee. Here's Tauke. Tauke off the runner, and she'll add herself to the free throw line here. So a lot of the things that we talked about, Brian, obviously too little too late for the scope of this game, but the backups trying to maybe practice what they preach on the bench a little bit and get something going here.
Yeah, again, it's a mindset that I look for, and as a coach, offensive skills starts with a mindset of thinking and believing that you can score, rather than just forever passing.
Shawver Selby, their instant radio update. Southeast Polk 42, Indianola 26, end of 3. By the way, see some talented freshmen making their way around here. Lizzie Newman, member of the state champion cross-country girls team. And then Emerson Wogan, who was just outside the varsity lineup on that one. She may see some time as the season goes on. Wanted to mention those two girls. Shot misses at the end. A rebound for Eliza Van Zee. And it's all North Polk here tonight. 73-46 over the Dutch in this girls' game. An abbreviated version of our Cabinet Design of Pella Radio postgame show coming up after this on 92.1 KRLS and on Pella Dutch Live.
Grow strong with us, Lighton State Bank, Lighton State Bank.
Hi, this is Shannon at Lighton State Bank. We're excited to announce that we've bumped up our rate on our Lighton interest account to 3.56% APY. If you'd like to earn up to $534 annually for doing simple things like signing up for e-statements, paying bills by ACH, and swiping your card a dozen times per month, our rewards account might be perfect for you. Lighton State Bank, member FDIC.
With today's interest rates, if you're selling your home and moving, it's as important as ever to make sure that you are bringing as much equity across into your new home. Hi, this is Brett Staten with Pella Real Estate Services. I recently helped someone sell their home in Pella, Iowa, just off the square for $305,000 using the Pres Listing Advantage. They saved $6,150. When it's time to sell your home, call 628-1BUI and use the Pres Listing Advantage at Pella Real Estate Services.
At Ulrich Ford Lincoln in Pella, we have one of Marion County's largest pre-owned vehicle inventories with over 125 used cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. As new vehicles across the country continue to be difficult to get, our team is making a concentrated effort to provide an even larger selection of used vehicles for you to choose from. So when it's time for your next pre-owned vehicle, check out ulrichford.com or stop out and let one of our certified sales consultants help you find the right vehicle. We're Ulrich Ford Lincoln in Pella, taking care of you since 1935.
November often brings the first cold snap of the holiday season. Pella Cooperative Electric would like to remind everyone to test and change batteries in smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and make sure heating equipment is in good working order. We'd also like to remind our member owners that our office will be closed November 24th and 25th to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. As always, if you need to make a payment, you can pay through the mobile app or call us 24/7. Looking out for you, we're Pella Cooperative Electric.
Cabinet Design Pella radio post-game show where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the cabinet guy at Cabinet Design Pella. It is a 73-46 final in favor of North Polk. Both teams now at 1-1 on the early season and launch their conference play later this week. Let's quickly run down our final stats of the night presented by the Verduff Agency, where Michaela Boatman was the top scorer, 23 points. Izzy McCool finishes with 16 points, 7 rebounds on the night. Perfect free throw shooting, 8 of 8 from the line as well. For Pella, Kylie Tauke finishes with 12, Kennedy Van Vark with 8, Mia Warner with 5, Abby Warner with 4 on the night as well. Your final stats are presented by the Verduff Agency. Let Chad Lance or Larry examine your stats and customize an insurance plan for you. The Verduff Agency, providing complete courteous service to the Pella area for 100 years. As we said, an abbreviated version of our Cabinet Design Pella radio postgame show where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the cabinet guy at Cabinet Design Pella. We'll have a full postgame show coming up after the boys' game. I want to thank Cabinet Design Pella for their sponsorship. Brian, let's briefly, whatever, time's on your hand. In closing, presented by Light and State Bank. As we mentioned, it's November basketball. It's your first home game of the season. You played a team that is likely, barring injury and other things, going to be one of the final 8 playing in Wells Fargo Arena, or certainly a team that you would have to upset to get to that point if you're Pella. A lot to learn from here tonight for Coach Forsyth and company.
Yeah, we started our night off saying this was going to be a good measuring bar for where they are. And North Polk has kind of set the standard for Central Iowa for our level of play. We're not there yet. I think everybody would admit to that. We're not done getting better at that. I know the girls want to continue to improve. Obviously, Coach Forsyth and his staff, like I said in the closing minutes, I've got full confidence that the team that we see here in the next few weeks is just going to steadily improve. And I think we're going to, in a conference that, has a couple of teams that are way out there, maybe talent-wise ahead of the rest of us. But I think it's going to be a fun conference season once that gets started. And I'm excited to watch the Dutch improve and get better and see where they go.
And that conference season starts on Friday in what should be a pair of, I think, really good early season games, as they often are, Norwalk and Pella taking on each other coming up on Friday. Brian, it's good to have you back. We've got a good number of games between you and I where we'll have the double headers together, whether it's Trevor and I. Tonight we want to get Phil warmed up too, so appreciate your time. The short trip over. Have a warm walk back.
I will pass the headphones over. My wife is at the scores table. I think I'll wait for her to bring me home.
Oh,
that's
good
wisdom.
Call.
That's wisdom.
Brian, that's what you get when you get that gray on your hair.
There
it's
you
supposed
go.
to be wisdom, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. We'll see you down the road. Phil Hemming will join us when we come back as we wrap up our first game coverage when we come back, game 2 of our doubleheader between Pella and North Polk on KRLS.
Do you have family coming to town for the holidays and you'd rather they don't stay at your house 24/7?
Then book them a room at Polk's only downtown hotel, the Amsterdam Hotel.
If you haven't been here in a while, our entire hotel has been completely remodeled, including the Liberty Street Kitchen restaurant.
And because they're right downtown, your guests can easily get to all the great holiday shopping that Pella has to offer.
Check out our website, royalamsterdam.com, for different packages that are available.
And then make your holiday guests a reservation at the Amsterdam Hotel on the Molengraat in Pella.
Even a mild winter can take a toll on your roof. Between the freeze and the thaw, you may need new shingles. Certainly, if you're going to get new shingles, you're going to get CertainTeed shingles from Dutch Mill Supply in Pella. CertainTeed Roofing offers a wide array of residential roofing shingle options.
Dutch Mill Supply, located in Pella, is your only locally owned, one-stop, full-service lumberyard and building material supplier. My name is Joshua Payne. My staff and I are here daily for professional service from the guy next door. Our product line is diverse, and we'll get you what you need quickly and at a competitive price.
Pella Corporation values teamwork. That's why they proudly salute adults who coach and mentor area youngsters. By helping others, they're building character and building their leadership skills in the process. And they're helping area youth experience the importance of teamwork. So whether you're coaching kids on a team, chaperoning them on a trip, or encouraging them to pursue their musical, artistic, or athletic talents, we thank those who share their talents with area young people. The Pella Windows and Doors team thanks you for your role in helping area youth build lifelong skills, interests, and values.
Vision for Less has delivered free same-day speed for over 30 years because our local lens labs are full of experienced and passionate lab techs, not to mention advanced equipment needed for the job. Simply put, your glasses can be ready the same day at no additional cost to you. On top of that, nobody beats our everyday low prices. Get 2 pairs single vision starting under $40 or 2 pairs of progressive starting under $80. Your time is valuable and quality comes faster than you think when you shop at Vision for Less.
At Lely, we continue to provide the latest innovations for the dairy industry. Our robotic milking systems put more milk in the tank with less effort. Our robotic feeding systems provide optimal feed efficiency for a healthy and productive herd. And we have a line of innovative barn products that create an animal-friendly environment focused on the cow's well-being and comfort. Lely, a worldwide pioneer in dairy farm automation, with our North American headquarters right here in Pella, is proud to be a part of the community.
Hi, this is Mike at Langstrad Auto Body. It's deer season again, and I know from experience that whether you're in your car or in the timber, there's one out there with your name on it. They always say if a deer jumps out in front of you, aim right at it. The good and bad of that is that some of you will be visiting your local meat locker, and the rest will be visiting us at Langstrad Auto Body. Whether it's a deer or some unfortunate accident, you know that Langstrad Auto Body is there for you with a lifetime written warranty and satisfaction 100% guaranteed. Langstrad Auto Body, where you don't have to look for a quality repair.
Why should you consider a career at Vermeer? Machining technician Levi Rohr says that the team approach to getting projects done is something that he really likes.
For my job, you work more as a team. We have a group of 3 to 4 people that work together and get the job done a lot easier than just having one person. It's more enjoyable that way. You have people to work with, and so you don't have to rely on yourself, or you can rely on others as well.
Start the search for your career at Vermeer by visiting vermeer.com/careers.
Hi, this is Tracy Gaffman with Two Rivers Co-op. We'd like to remind area residents to be aware of the farm machinery on the roads this harvest season. When you're on your way to work, to a meeting, or to a ball game, you might get frustrated driving behind a slow-moving piece of equipment. Please be patient, don't take unnecessary risks, and we'll all get to our destination safely. Two Rivers Co-op with offices in Pella, Otley, Monroe, and Tracy.
The home and field advantage. Two Rivers Co-op.
And we are back at Pella High School for Game 2 of our doubleheader as we get you back to basketball action. The North Polk girls winning 73-46. It's a season opening night here for the Dutch and Comets. Pella versus North Polk, 2 top 10 teams according to BC Moore 1 season ago, but a lot of new faces and new places for both of these teams coming into the new year. I'm Andrew Schneider alongside Phil Hemming as we take a look at our McCall Monumental radio keys to this game. And that's exactly it here for Pella. It is really hard to have any measure of expectations. I think that by the end of the season, Pella can be a very solid Class 3A team. North Polk has a few more pieces returning from last year's squad, but this will very much look like, I think tonight on paper, Phil, November basketball. Expect a lot of mistakes, miscues, a lot of learning for both of these teams here tonight.
Yeah, I think Pella has, some really key pieces to round out and make a really nice team. It's just a matter of finding their roles and identity, and that's something that sometimes you take some lumps early in the season, and in the scrimmages that they've had, trying to find out who's going to fill what role, and it's going to be a different DNA than the last 3 seasons. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The talent, the shooting that those teams had before, this team's going to have to do it a little differently.
Well, and you look at that transition in terms of talent from year to year. Last year, Pella came in with the vast majority of a talented state championship team roster returning, with largely a rotation made up of 7 seniors plus Luke Hardman. Luke's the only real consistent piece who's back. And off those teams, you're talking 2-year, 3-year varsity letter winner kind of players, or in the case of a Carl Miller, a 4-year starter for the team. Whereas now you got a lot of guys who are juniors and seniors who are really good athletes, but just they haven't seen a varsity basketball floor. And that's as much as they could be as talented as they could be, they got to learn.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing last year when you went all in on trying to repeat, right? You didn't get as many guys in maybe that you wanted to develop. And, you know, that was definitely a roll of the dice last year that Coach Schulte had to decide. And, you know, now I think knowing that, he knows that he's going to take his lumps early in this season. But, you know, I'll say this. Last year, I remember coming back in the booth, you know, game 1, game 2, and the expectations that those kids felt to repeat and the burden that they bared, you know, their expectation was to win every game and come back and win a state championship. This team's expectation, nobody knows. And that is really a beautiful thing in sports, is to be an underdog, to be somebody, to you know, be able to write your own destiny. I think this group is going to flourish in that.
Oh, it's freeing. There's something freeing, and you're absolutely right. And, you know, we played into it, but the kids played into it too. It would have been dumb for you and I not to mention the fact that, hey, we've got 85% of the scoring back from a state championship team. Why can't Pella repeat, especially with how 3A went? And obviously they were pretty close. It was one bad night against Winterset. If they play that game better, they may have had a run at it. But obviously that's all in the past now. And North Polk, obviously a very good team from a season ago that we'll talk about more here in our broadcast. This is our pregame coverage on 92.1 KBLS. Let's go ahead and take a look at our game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating. And it didn't get any warmer out there, Phil, apparently.
No,
it is now 25 degrees.
I just came in. I wish they'd open up a door. It's warm up here in the rafters.
It is always warm up here in the rafters
warmer
at Pella
than
High
I remember.
School. But the moment we go step back outside that door, it's going to be very cold. Our game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating. They're your local heating and cooling experts. You'll rest easy when you pick up the phone in here.
Van Haften.
And they've already done us a favor that we got our starting lineups up for our first boys basketball game. So, Phil, let's go ahead and stay right here and take a look at our starting lineups presented by Miniga Pest Control. For the Dutch, number 2, a senior at forward, a transfer from Knoxville 2 seasons ago. That's Luke Keiches. A junior forward, the starting quarterback of the football team. Number 3, Luke Hardman, a state track qualifier in multiple sports, and the sharpshooter expected for the Dutch. A senior guard, number 4, Trey Van Howen, a multi-talented sport athlete. Ramon Hugan, a junior, number 12. And Cam Schulte was an excellent addition to the football team after returning from injury this past fall. See what Cam can do on the basketball floor wearing number 20, a senior at 6'3". For North Polk, a few more familiar faces, but some new faces as well. A senior guard, number 2, Jackson Nemmers. A senior guard, number 10, Austin Parkins. I was getting those next names mixed up. See, easy for me to do. Jackson Rutledge, a senior guard, number 12. Number 13, Reggie Postel, was a quarterback for the football team this past fall. And Graydon Sullivan, a junior, younger brother of the talented Sullivan brother that graduated off the North Polk team a year ago wearing number 22. Nemmers, Parkins, Rutledge, Postel, and Sullivan for North Polk. Keiches, Hardman, Van Howen, Hugan, and Schulte for the Dutch. Your starting lineups presented by Miniga Pest Control. Sean and his team want to kill your bugs.
Call 628-3198. Miniga Pest Control.
Couple of Strauver Cellular instant radio updates, or at least one. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont pulling away from the Eagles and girls action. End of 3, 52-36 over on KBLS 2. Also on our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard, Twin Cedars 44, Wayne 26. That's a girls final. Southeast Polk was leading Indianola 42-26 after 3, and North Polk defeated the Pella girls 73-46 in varsity girls action on your Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Phil, a final thought before we take our final break before starting lineups on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see this Dutch team come out. Guys step up, like you said, new opportunities for a lot of these players, and really see what they have to offer.
Should be a lot of fun. And that's the beauty of the mystery of this. We're going to be learning right along with you here on Pella Dutch Live. We'll step aside for a commercial timeout, and when we come back, your opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply. You're listening to Pella High versus North Polk basketball on 92.1 KBLS and on Pella Dutch Live.
Ecoff with a drive in the center field. Walk off bomb. Unbelievable. Ray the Roofing raised the roof moment of the game as back-to-back innings. Emma Ecoff homers
Randall Roofing is proud to sponsor the Raise the Roof moment of the game and support our local teams. When it's time for a new roof, think Randall Roofing. Find us on Facebook or visit randallroofs.com. Thinking new roof? Think Randall Roofing.
Hi, this is Levi Spain with Spain Painting in Pella, your local exterior painting experts. Winter in Iowa doesn't lend itself to doing much painting outside, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't chat. Winter is when a lot of people are planning for their spring projects. So if you're thinking about painting your house, now is a great time for me to come and talk about some ideas and give you an estimate. You can learn more about us and see some of our work by visiting spain-painting.com. Spain Painting, exteriors done with integrity.
Pella Printing recognizes each job is a unique and important part of your organization's brand image. By being flexible and reacting quickly, they've earned a first-class reputation in the printing industry and offer a broad assortment of quality printed products with speed and precision. From business cards to postcards, window clings to magnetic media, and banners, posters, window graphics, and yard signs, Pella Printing provides a unique and professional look to any project. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Here at US Cellular, we are committed to making wireless and internet accessible to every family in every town we serve, especially in and around Pella. New prepaid plans with hotspot starting as low as $25 a month, and unlimited home internet plans now starting as low as $50 a month. Plus, you could qualify for a $30 monthly savings through the Affordable Connectivity Program. Come to Strauber Cellular for qualification and details. Strauber Cellular is your locally owned authorized agent for US Cellular in downtown Pella.
Inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth, Andrew Schneider and Phil Hemming, as we welcome you to our broadcast season. The Pella girls falling to North Polk earlier tonight, 73-46. It is the season debut for both the boys of the Comets from North Polk and of the Dutch of Pella. And we have a whole lot to get to here inside of our broadcast booth as we get you set for our opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply. And thank you to our audience joining us tonight on Pella Dutch Live. Of course, we have many sponsors who are providing that video coverage here for you through the Pella Athletic Booster Club. Thank you tonight to Vanderlinden Services, our sponsor of our video coverage on Pella Dutch Live. As they reset the starting lineups here on the floor for you, presented as always by Miniga Pest Control. Your colors of the game are presented by Spain Painting. Pella in their standard home white jerseys with the green numbers and letters here tonight. North Polk the opposite, with the black jerseys and the red numbers. Green and white for the Dutch, black and red for North Polk. Your colors of the game presented by Levi Spain, with Spain Painting, their exterior painting experts. And Levi would love to talk to you to start planning a spring project for your home or business. Check them out online at spain-painting.com. Your opening tip is presented by Dutch Mill Supply. Dutch Mill Supply is your only locally owned lumberyard and building material supplier, as the Pella Dutch set sail on a brand new campaign and definitely a big test here this season for head coach Derek Schulte, who this was a lot like his first year, coming off of 3 straight tournament teams, a ton of seniors graduating. That team did get better as the season wore on. They were a different group. It's not like Coach Schulte hasn't been there before, but obviously now it's been his program a long time. He came in, it was all completely new with that group that eventually went to state in their senior years, the Logan Shetterlys of the world and so on. He's got quite the test here, and it should be very fun, but there's definitely going to be some growing pains along the way too.
Yeah. I had a conversation with him. Let's get the tip underway here.
Yep, your opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supplies, controlled by North Polk.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Coach Schulte like maybe a month or two before the season, and you know, I could just see that he was really excited because he's going to have to do things differently. You know, he understands that.
A foul called as Jackson Nemmers will get 2 free throws. Luke Kaichis gets his first foul.
Yeah, Kaichis stepped up, and if he would have gone straight up, probably get the block, but that swap motion obviously gets you in trouble very often.
Nemmers makes the first. But yeah, there's an excitement there, but you're right. You don't have, especially this year, there's not a lot of connectivity. You don't have at least 2 or 3 seniors who have been there before. Almost none of these guys have played extended varsity minutes with the Dutch. Luke Kaichis has a ton of experience, but that was with Knoxville. He didn't play a lot last year in that rotation for that team. He's got some talent, and Ramon Hugan has had some flashes and so on. There's a dribble drive by Luke Hardman.
Well, we didn't get to talk about keys to the game, but
yeah,
one of the things I told you off air was I think we need to get Luke Hardman going often and early. And very first possession I see, he goes to the basket really hard and draws the contact, which he so often does.
And Hardman is the veteran out there, that's for sure. And that's a hard place to be sometimes. And not to say that he can't lead this team. He certainly has some experience from football, but there's a lot of guys around him who are learning their way, right? Second is in.
Yeah, definitely. But Luke's played basketball. Since second grade. I mean, this is routine nature for him.
3 on the way is short for North Polk. That was Austin Parkins, and a high rebound controlled by Trey Van Howen. Dutch down on their side. Here's Hardman. There's a Dutch turnover. Picking the pocket was number 13, Reggie Postel. Gets the steal.
Something I saw, I watched the JV game, and something I saw was just our quality of passing has been bad, and that's a prime example. Why throw the ball into traffic and try to throw through hands like Luke did there? We're just going to have to value the basketball better.
By Cam Schulte to force the turnover the other side, but the shot misses quickly and a rebound by Sullivan. 2-1, 6:52 remaining in an area filled. I know that Coach Schulte says where the Dutch are going to make their hay is on the defensive end. He feels like athletically they're going to match up really well with a lot of teams. They've got a ton of really good athletes out there. It's just, can they convert that into offense consistently night in and night out?
Yeah, they're going to have to. I mean, for this team to be successful, we don't, I hate to talk about the past, but we don't have the Carl Miller that can just, throw it in the bucket like Carl did from all over. And so we're going to have to get them sometimes dirty, get points on the defensive end, and turn transition baskets. So
Parkins misses the first. Call this our champion seed game reset. 3-1. North Polk leads. All the scoring so far has been at the charity stripe. North Polk 3 of 4, Pella 1 of 2. Luke Kaichis down the floor. Here's to Hardman. Hardman shuffles it out to Schulte in the corner. Schulte dribble drive. He'll lay it in, count it, and 1, or is it a charge?
They gave him the charge.
The charge is called.
Tough,
turnover Dutch.
Tough call.
Probably a 50-50 call, and it ends up going the way of North Polk. That's the other problem there is Schulte's second foul will bring in Braden Trato in a hurry. Trato's a sophomore, and he's got a ton of potential coming off the bench, that's for sure. I know Coach Schulte is very high.
Turnover.
And then the inbounds player did not reestablish himself before getting the pass quick back in the second North Polk turnover. Trey Van Howen will inbound it here for the Dutch. Bounce pass into Hardman, and he gets it off the glass and in. Hardman, all 3 for the Dutch, and we're tied at 3.
Just a simple inbounds play. I think won Pella's run for about 10 years, and North Polk just gets caught sleeping on a screen.
Right side here is Jackson Nemmers on the wing, guarded by Van Howen. And some contact. Foul called on the Dutch. Van Howen and Hugen were working on the trap, and the far side official says Pella just got a little too over-eager there. First foul of the night on Van Howen. Third, make it 4th on the Dutch here early, just to 1 for North Polk.
So I got to ask you, Andrew, now that you've had a game under your belt here, your thoughts on the shot clock. Has it really changed things? That time it didn't even start.
Right.
I think sometimes I notice, I don't think our scorers table is always on it, but, what are your thoughts?
I will say the teams that played before this made it irrelevant. They were, and that's, I think, if you're watching Pella basketball, there's a foul, by the way, called on North Polk after some discussion. That was on number 22, Graydon Sullivan. Pella fans aren't going to notice it too much. In this conference, I don't think you're going to notice it a ton. We did have a couple shot clock violations, but they were already, they were long possessions. There were things that longer than normal. Like the typical possession, I'd say, in that first game, Phil, 15, 20 seconds. It was back and forth really quickly.
Yeah.
We had 33 rebounds at the half, just to kind of give you an idea. And there's some good work in the post by Luke Kaichis. Again, we talk about veteran players. We're not understating the fact that he has experience. He was a multiple-year starter with Knoxville before he got here, but it was a different system.
Yeah, and he didn't play a lot last year. I think he'd be the first to tell you didn't get as many minutes.
He just didn't fit in stylistically with what Pella wanted to do, 5 guards and run and gun. He's a very good player. It's just got to be a system that fits him a little better, and we'll see if this year is the case.
Yeah, and I watched him work hard all summer. I mean, he's really developed his endurance, I think, too.
Van Houen trying to force the steal. 5 seconds on the shot clock. We're going to get to see it here right at the buzzer. And that shot hits off the rim. And it was actually, as you mentioned, tipped by Pella. I think that's a good call by the officials there. A team rebound and an offensive rebound for North Polk. Was that Hardman who came in at the last second and got that as Tyson Barnes checks in?
Yeah, somebody, I think it was
him or
it was
Hugen.
Tipped from 3. I think Hugen tipped it from 3, and then, but the ball hit the rim, so you get a reset.
Inbound play doesn't work. Trato gets the rebound. Here's Hardman out to Hugen. Ramon Hugen out to Trato, playing a lot of basketball as a sophomore. Haven't seen a lot of sophomores on the floor a couple years here for the Dutch. A lot of senior and junior heavy teams.
Awkward fall for Luke there, Hardman.
And he's fouled.
Got to specify our Lukes this year.
We do. Foul on Postel, his first. Third for the Comets in the early going. 4:44 remaining. In case you missed it, presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. North Polk and Pella exchanging some free throws and now getting on the board via the field goals, at least are the Dutch, and they've got a 5-3 lead. Presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic.
They're the veterinarians.
Hardman gets stuck just inside the three-point line and has his pass knocked out of bounds near photographer Kennedy Hartson, who's doing a great job with the Pella Dutch Activities channel, and Coach Brandt and that whole group on social media. 5-3 our score here. Pella maintains possession. Van Houen will inbound it. As we mentioned, Tyson Barnes is into the game as well. Very talented sophomore. Very good soccer player. One of the best goals I saw all last year.
Really good punter,
Here's Luke Hardman. First three-pointer of the year to Luke Hardman. A beautiful catch and shoot off the bench. And we're going to call this one early. Nice momentum for the Dutch. Let's get the roof going on fire. It's already hot up here as it is, Phil. Presented by Randall Roofing. When the moment arises and it's time for a new roof, think Randall Roofing. And an air ball.
Got a little plug for Randall. He put the hail-proof roof on my roof, and it worked. So very appreciative of him.
Of course, his sponsorship as well of our big moments in our games this year.
Offensive foul?
Offensive foul.
What are they going to call here?
Yeah, moving screen on Trato.
Yeah.
That's the 5th foul on the Dutch. Been a lot of whistles. 8-3 Pella after the three-pointer by Hardman. He's got 6 of the team's 8. 4:14 still here in the first. We've been moving up and down. Not a lot of time has ticked away on the clock.
There's a steal.
Tip and a steal for Trey Van Houen. Van Houen up ahead to Ramon Hugen, who will lay it off the glass and in. Unselfish play for Van Houen. The steal, the assist, forcing the timeout. We're going to call that our drive to the basket here tonight as well on 92.1 KRLS, presented by Pingle's Home Store. Drive on over to Pingle's Home Store on the northwest corner of the square in Pella and find out how you can score with a variety of furniture, flooring, and more. Want to give all our sponsors a lot of love early in the game, Phil, to get us going. Vision for less timeout and a nice run here by the Dutch.
Yeah, love to see them getting stops on the defensive end, turn them into easy baskets at layup. Nice job by Roman and Trey to score in transition. So, I think that's going to be a key for this team is stops and easy baskets, because it's not going to just come from 3 like it has in the past.
Well, and team together, we talked a lot last year about the extra pass for 3. That right there in transition. Van Houen probably could have gone up for the layup, but he didn't have the perfect look. Found the guy with a little more speed, a little more ups, and Hugen finishes. There's the mantra is still going to be the same. It's just going to look different for the Dutch, as you said, in different spots.
Yeah, just make the easy pass. We don't have to worry about the highlight reel this year, right? We just got to make the easy basket.
Jackson Rutledge brings it down the floor here for North Polk. He's between the circles on their half of the floor. Down 10-3. Still a lot of game to be played here. Pella promising signs here early. Good spin move through the defense and in for Cole Krings off the bench.
That was great position by North Polk down low. Number 15 just posted Barnes up with the drop step.
Returning the favor, trying to at least for Van Houen. Hardman is fouled as he gets the offensive rebound. And again, Hugen showing off again the opposite side, right in the half court. Dribble drive, suck the defense in, kick it out. Van Houen was open. Just missed the shot, but it was a good look.
Yeah. Very unselfish play.
Van Houen.
Oh, there's a 50-50 ball. Got to make a better entry pass.
Stolen away by North Polk, and they will try to answer. And they'll get the offensive rebound. So after they force a third
steal.
Pella turnover, but North Polk will turn it right back over. The steal for Ramon Hugan. We are stuffing the sheet here, Phil, with all sorts of stats early on. Down low, Barnes,
Nice.
Beautiful touch. Tyson Barnes for 2. 12-5 Pella. 2:58 remaining in the first.
Nice little drive and dish.
We get a foul off the ball.
They called Trey for holding.
Jackson Emmers was trying to backdoor cut. That is the 6th team foul for the Dutch. We are already into the single bonus now for North Polk. Treto stays on the floor. Hardman stays on the floor. So does Barnes. It's Kaichis and Cameron Rowe, younger brother of Preston Rowe, checking in. Very good tennis player. Was a member of the state runner-up season ago. Also a doubles qualifier with Cashin Moneyman Thompson. Here's Rutledge. Step back 3 off the defense. Good look and a good shot for Jackson Rutledge. North Polk back within 4, 12-8. 2:38 remaining here in the first. Here's Hardman sliding it out to Kaichis. Kaichis, top of the key 3. Good look, but just off the left side of the rim, no. And a rebound controlled by the Comets. Now on their half of the floor, here's Jackson Nemmers. Touch in the lane, no good. A board controlled by Treto. Braden dribbles it down. Kaichis whips it out to Hardman. Hardman a shot fake. Dribble drive looking for some extension. Off the glass, no. He gets the garbage man rebound as he did a year ago. Just really a hard worker in that paint is Hardman. And he gets the extra possession for the Dutch, and he's fouled.
He's such a quick jumper, you know, and he just gets those offensive rebounds so easily. You know what, I like to see this last defensive possession. You could tell a few of our guys wanted to reach in, but we held back. And really with 16 fouls, there was good discipline, you know, to have that early on, to not gamble.
Here is Hardman out to Rowe. Rowe flips it over to Hardman. Hardman on the wing, dribble, drive, spin move off the window, no. It's just short, and the board controlled by Rutledge of North Polk. Comets have the ball down 12-8, 1:49 remaining here in the first. Cole Krings, the right-handed runner, is in. Krings off the bench with 4 points.
Really
and
impressed.
North Polk back within 2.
Yeah, really impressed with him. Just a nice post player, and really is getting position. He had Barnes the first time. That time Kaichis just allowing the ball to be too deep, and they're getting easy put-ins.
Kick out in the corner. Treto for 3. Yes! Another extra pass here for the Dutch. 15-10. And we'll get a Vision for Less officials timeout for the net after it swishes through for Braden Treto.
Nice in and out from Rowe to Treto.
1:25 remaining here in the first. 15-10. Minute 23 remaining. Here's Nemmers. Nemmers. Dribble drive, free throw line jumper, pure. Good shot by Jackson Nemmers. 15-12. Still a minute at 7 remaining here in our opening quarter as we are a lot of action, short amount of time. Did have a couple Strauver Cellular Instant Radio updates we'll tell you about here in a second. Finals from girls action, but the Dutch will turn it over. Their 4th turnover. Nemmers his 2nd steal. This is Rutledge, top of the key 3. Kind of rushed the shot. Good offensive rebound and free throws coming for Graydon Sullivan. He's rewarded getting the putback chance. Our Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont kind of blows the doors off the Eagles in the second half and a close one in the first. 67-42 girls score. That's a final over on Eagle Lane. Have our first one of the night. PCM boys leading Knoxville 16-11. First free throw misses here. And it was Indianola kind of closing the gap. They fell behind pretty big. Southeast Polk 54, Indianola girls 45. All those games on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard. Ongoing on 95.3 KNIA, 94.3 KNIA, and the KRBLS 2 stream, and the Pella Christian High School YouTube channel. Both will miss. The rebound will go to Colin Kurtz. We didn't get to see him in the football season due to injury. Very talented athlete. I know a lot of the coaches are high on for multiple sports, whether that be track, basketball, or football. So an official overruling here. As North Polk looking for clarification, it will not be a turnover Dutch. They'll say tipped by the Comets. 36 seconds remaining. Trado will inbound. Pops it way out to Hugan at the half-court line. He could have gone over. Tip and a steal by Parkins, and Parkins will miss.
Yeah, these 50-50 passes. We just keep throwing jump balls.
North Polk not making the Dutch pay for it there. 20-second shot clock is off here for Pella. And again, a 35-second shot clock, Phil. A lot of teams would get the ball typically with, 40 seconds and hold. There's not a ton of difference with that length of a shot clock. There's another tip and a steal. This is Postel, his second steal. He will finish just before the horn and make it more of a ball game. 15-14 Dutch, a narrow lead after a couple of costly turnovers at the end of the quarter inside our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth.
This is Megan at Pingle's Home Store in Pella. We have a variety of products at a variety of prices for a variety of people. Come visit us today and see what we can do for you. Whether it's flooring, a new mattress, or freshening up your room with new furniture and decor. We promise we have the services you need, including our interior designer on staff. Real people, real service, real dependability at Pingle's Home Store. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram or stop in. We're located off the square at 911 Broadway in historic downtown Pella.
Christmas time is here, and Vandenberg's Greenhouse in Albia is your place to feel the spirit with Christmas decorations for inside and out. Don't miss a creative selection of metal Christmas yard art, Grinch, Peanuts, and other Christmas characters, fresh wreaths, garland, as well as Christmas decorative porch pots. Christmas time is here. Celebrate it with a stop at Vandenberg's Greenhouse north of Albia on Highway 5, worth the short drive.
Back on Pella Dutch Live, Andrew Schneider and Phil Hemming coming to you on a opening night broadcast in a first quarter, Phil, that Pella controlled the majority of, but 6 turnovers, in case you missed it, presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic, have been a big difference in this game, and North Polk is still very much in it. And up ahead, good set play there to start for Luke Keiches. That's been the positive, Phil. There's been some really good offense. They've just turned the ball over a few too many times.
Well, and it's a different way that we've been scoring in the past few years, right? It seemed like we lived and died by the 3 very often, and we're getting a lot of steals and layups or guys attacking. There's another missed opportunity there, but guys attacking the rim.
5th North Polk turnover. That's the 4th Pella steal, 17-14. And again, we're not trying to be criticizing too much here. It's November, and a lot of these guys on both teams, Phil, are new. To varsity, at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Top of the elbow here for Brady
Another
Schultz.
Nice steal.
Another steal. This is Hardman's first. 6th North Polk turnover. They've now matched the margin here for the Dutch, who are up 17-14.
Leave Keiches open. He'll nail it.
He tried. It was a good look, just a little short. As it hit the front side of the rim, Nemmer is the rebound for the Comets. 6:52 remaining. Here's Jacob Egan. Hugan nearly got the steal. 6 fouls make it 7 now for the Dutch, by the way. 1-1 for North Polk, and there's a bumping foul called by
Little too much chest in there, and that's going to give him they're actually at the bonus.
So I say this is a 1-1 situation already.
Yeah, as a coach, if you ever saw the official not notice that, you don't say something. You just let it go.
Let the other coach make that call.
The other coach or the other officials notice that. I think that one, unfortunately, was right in front of the scorer's table.
Yeah. 17-14. Comets had the early lead. Pella has led since then. North Polk, though, has had several chances to get back on top. They probably won't do it, barring a offensive rebound and a miss here, but will still narrow the gap again. First one is made by Egan. Second free throw coming. And that's in and out, no good. Cam Schulte, the rebound for the Dutch. Andrew Schneider and Phil Hemming. Pella, 7th turnover possibly. The ball is ping-ponging around, still loose. Hugan will come up with it, then he'll lose it. and then it's stolen away by North Polk. Sliding to a stop was Jackson Nemmers for his third steal. There was a lot of touches there. We're going to call that one turnover for Pella, but both teams, Phil, at one point had it 2 or 3 times, it felt like.
Yeah, that just careless basketball.
Long three, no good. Rebound is out of bounds off of Kaichis. Second offensive board team-wise for North Polk. Checking in is Jackson Rutledge.
One thing I'd like to see is us just do a little bit better job on the defensive end, putting a body on somebody. I think in that case, if Kaichis draws the contact on the box out, that'd be an over and back call. But we're just jumping ping-ponging straight up rather than putting a body on somebody.
Inbounds to the half-court line for North Polk. 6:07 remaining in the first half. Pella still leads 17-15, but the Comets can tie or take the lead here. Rutledge is directing traffic at the half-court line, works it right side to Nemmers. Nemmers, crossover move, stops, goes, kicks it out. It was tipped by Hardman. Ball is loose. It's out of bounds, last off of Pella. It looked like it hit off the foot of North Polk.
Another overturned call here, both in our favor.
It hit off of Nemmers' foot.
Yeah, I lost it in the student section. It is helmet night. I don't know if you can see, but a lot of helmets blocking my view down there in the corner.
We've got Optimus Prime.
I see a motorcycle helmet, bike
Patrick
helmet.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
We'll name your Iowa Hawkeye player, Defensive Player of the Year.
There's a nice basket cut.
And 2 shots coming for Cam Schulte. He's playing with 2 fouls. Both teams now combined 14 fouls on the night, 8 for Pella, 6 for North Polk. So we're shooting free throws between now and the half. You are listening to Pella High Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on FM 92.1 KRLS Knoxville Pella and KRLS HD1 Knoxville Pella. Cam Schulte's first free throw is good. Schulte on the board, a senior who, again, had a logjam of talented players in front of him these last couple years, and one of those where I know you can only say shoulda, woulda, coulda. If he was healthy this football season, how different things were. He was a dynamic football player this year.
Yeah, just a great athlete, and last year got an opportunity to watch him quite a bit in JV, and just a really nice player, and he'll be a great addition to this team. Gives him some physicality. You see, he's guarding the 5 position right now.
That's Graydon Sullivan. This is Reggie Postel, dribble drive for 2. 19-17, Comets have had an answer so far for everything Pella's thrown at them. Hugan a shot fake, dribble drive, floater, teardrop doesn't go. Schulte fighting on the offensive glass, and then an offensive foul.
Yeah, we talk about physicality. Sometimes got to be a little careful, those big muscles.
That's his third.
Yeah, just bounce right off of him.
On our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, PCM 16, Knoxville 11. That's a boys after 1. Eddyville defeated Pella Christian 62-42 in girls action. Southeast Polk 54-45. North Polk girls 73, Pella 46. Some full court pressure here for the Dutch on your Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, where they're serving you and building community across the Red Rock area. 3 on the way is in for Jackson Rutledge. And that'll force a Vision for Less timeout from head coach Derek Schulte.
Yeah, that's just that time got a little sleepy in the zone press. They were able to just kind of throw over top, beat it, and then get the wide open 3.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by who else? BSN Sports and Windmill Print and Stitch in Pella. Windmill Print and Stitch is a locally owned, decorated apparel company right here in the Tulip City, and they're a proud partner of BSN Sports. If you need apparel for your team or business, call the guy to my right, Phil, with BSN Sports at 620-8337, or stop into the BSN Sports Windmill Print and Stitch office on Southeast 14th Street in Pella. 20-19 in a Vision for Less timeout, and North Polk with their first lead, Phil, since first couple minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, we've just played played carelessly a little bit, turning the ball over and giving them a lot of opportunities, and it finally caught up with us. So hopefully Coach Schulte called timeout in the right position, and hopefully dial something up here. There's another kind of 50-50 ball.
A steal, count it, and 1. Hugan with the foul after he gives it up, and that's the old frustration foul, right? You lose the ball, you feel like you have to go down and make a play. Not that he shouldn't play defense, Phil, but obviously the Dutch are in some foul trouble here. That was actually charged to number 10. No, that's not right.
Yeah, it was on Roman.
It was on Roman Hugan. But yeah, it was one of those
sure.
frustration fouls, but now an offensive rebound after the miss. So 2 fouls now for Hugon. Parkins misses the free throw, but Rutledge got the offensive board. Right side, it's Postel. Treto guarding him, man-to-man defense for the Dutch. 4:26 second quarter, 22-19 North Polk. Shot misses. Rebound by Tyson Barnes.
Nice job by Barnes blocking that out.
Shot fake. Hardman at the free throw line has it rejected. Recycled by Parkins, who gets the rebound. And then a foul on the other side.
Yeah, another kind of frustration foul.
And now Ramon Hugon gets his third foul.
Third
so
foul.
Ramon Hugon and Cam Schulte, who are 2 starters, Phil, each have 3 fouls.
Yeah, both in foul trouble, and now North Polk shoots double bonus here on out for the remainder of this second quarter with 4 minutes to go.
Parkins is 1 of 3 from the line, but he's got 2 more to add to it here. Goes to show how quickly sometimes things can turn. Doesn't take long, especially with inexperience. Pella up to 9 turnovers, and North Polk, give them a ton of credit, Phil. They are taking advantage.
Yeah, they are. They're playing solid, sound defense, and they're getting tips, right? They're getting tips on passes, tips on shots, that block there. But they're just doing a good job of having active hands.
Hardman, dribble drive, looking for Barnes. Good patience, and Barnes gets his second bucket of the night. 24-21. Van Howen defending top of the circle against Jackson Rutledge at the center P. Right side to Postel. Thought about a shot, takes it inside of the line and gets it for 2. 6 points for him. Out to Treto. Treto, right side to Hardman. Hardman whips it in the corner. Rowe, catch and shoot 3. High arcing, kisses off the glass, no.
Looked like it was tipped a little bit.
On the other side, 3 on the way, no good.
There's a box out from Barnes.
But an offensive rebound and another offensive board. 2 offensive rebounds. It's Hudson Quinn who finishes it, but Pella getting beat on the glass there, and North Polk cashes in. They have a 7-point lead. And then a quick whistle and a foul on the other side on North Polk. Luke Keichus is back into the game. Jackson Nemmers and Cole Krings back in for the Comets. 3:11 remaining. This is a game reset presented by champion seed dealer Jay Boat. 28-21. Pella led by as much as 5 in the first quarter. North Polk with their largest lead of 7 here in the second.
Really like what I'm seeing from Barnes. Gives him just a nice physical presence inside. A real good athlete.
1-and-1 misses. Offensive rebound. He got his own rebound. Misses. Another offensive board here for the Dutch. Pella resets here offensively.
Nice move by Rowe.
And he can't finish.
Just can't finish. Great pump fake. Got in the paint.
Rebound controlled by the Comets. Their half of the floor. Postel short on the 3. Keicher says thank you very much. Ball bounds right to him in the hands. And here is Hardman. Pella down by 7. Right side, here's Rowe. Rowe kicks it out top of the circle. Shot fake for Keichus. Tried to get it out because he was trapped defensively, and it's stolen away by Postel. His 3rd steal, 10th Pella turnover, and another vision for less timeout for Coach Schulte. A 9-point lead for the Comets. 6 points for Jackson Nemmers. A 30-second timeout, and we will keep it right here. A vision for less timeout. Improving lives by helping people see better. If poor visibility is causing you to miss things, take a timeout. Visit Vision for Less in Pella to get back in the game. Your game reset, by the way, is presented by Champion Seed with local dealer Jay Boot, an independently owned and regionally focused seed company striving to build and maintain the broadest portfolio of genetics and traits. Champion Seed, they only champion the best, but Pella right now struggling in the second quarter.
Yeah, it really just comes down to, I think, some of the core values that Coach Schulte had printed on his T-shirt. I remember that this year, right? But it said defend, rebound, value the basketball. And those were kind of 3 pillars I think he really wanted to make sure this team focused on. And obviously a few of those tonight we're struggling to do, and really it's allowed the lead to slip away from us.
So Pella.
Hardman with the 3.
Hardman misses. Offensive rebound. There's Tyson Barnes again. He'll put it back for 2.
Barnes just doing a nice job mixing things up inside with his size.
Whistle and a foul on the other side. 30-23, Barnes with 6 points.
Now, I did not have the JV roster in front of me when I was catching it on my phone earlier and TV tonight, but one of the things Coach Schulte's going to have to think about is a lot of these bench players played in the JV game, and they get 6 quarters, right? So as you start moving these chess pieces around, you got 3 fouls here, 3 fouls there. I think Trado just got his second.
Yep.
How do some of these other reserve role players work in, and how many quarters do they have? Or are they eligible to play? So definitely going to earn his money's worth tonight trying to figure this out.
Kaichis on the other half of the floor. Shot fake for Van Houen. Kicks it out to Trado. Trado, right-handed runner, rattles in and out, no good. A good look, but just too much mustard on it. And the rebound controlled by Parkins.
It's a travel. Not called in the NBA, but picked up both feet, jump stop, pitter-pattered. Now the inbounds here for North Polk.
31-23. Dribble drive, the inbounds. It's cashed in by Rutledge. He's got 8. Good balanced scoring for the Comets tonight, and they extend their lead back to 10. Trado down to Van Houen. Good in-the-face defense on Trey. He has to get it out. Here's Trado, top of the circle after a pass between by Kaichis. Down low, Barnes. Barnes whips it out. In the corner, Hardman. Shot fake, dribble drive, looking for Barnes. Tipped around. Kaichis somehow gets through it all. Hits the deck and gets his 3rd bucket. And he is down and hurt. That was a tough fall, and he hit, without speculating, he just hit face first and pancaked on the floor. He's back up, though. Colin Kern will check in for Kaichis, just to be sure. 33-25. Do have a Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update from Monroe, where it's all PCM 33-14 at the half, and boys action there. Also Indianola 18, Southeast Polk 1. That's a very good Indianola team brewing over in Class 4A. And a Strauver Cellular Instant Radio update. Count it, and 1 for Cole Krings. A nice backdoor cut, and he'll finish. Pella just a step behind defensively, Phil, and it shows here on the foul total, and that's Hardman's first. A lot of scores.
Just Pella just littering the scoreboard here with fouls. Coach Schulte trying to
plead his case.
Maybe argue that one was a quick whistle. Trying to say, hey, how come I can't get those on the other end? Foul totals.
Finishing here for Krings.
I think 13-7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't have the full one right here, but you're right. There's a ton of fouls. Disparity advantage North Polk. Dutch down by their largest deficit of 11, 36-25 late first quarter. Counted and 1 for Luke Hardman on the other side. Luke had been quiet so far. Gets it going here late. Good answer for the Dutch with 44 seconds left until the half.
It's something I think they need to do more of. Get the ball in the hands of Luke, let him create. He's done a nice job getting in the paint, dishing down to his bigs. I'd like to see him come off screens ready to catch and shoot a little more.
See if that's our creative idea drawn up by Brand Appeal. For branding, print, web, or video, call Brand Appeal. Relentless for you, Luke Hardman. See if they can get the ball to him more as we get into the third quarter. By the way, in our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show, get our first halftime interview with Blaine Forsythe, the 1-1 Dutch. A rebound out of bounds. It was close. Parkins came down with it, and the official says his foot hit the line. There was some contact there, too. And I know the North Polk coaching staff wanted a foul called underneath. But instead, it is Pella with their 12th turnover.
Yeah, just throwing 50-50s. Definitely something Coach Schulte's going to watch this film and want to review with his guys.
Pella with some full court pressure. Colin Kern on point there with Jackson Rutledge. Of course, the 10-second count gets a lot easier, Phil, when you've got the shot clock going. They do get it over the timeline with about 2 seconds to spare. Comets ball up 36-27, 25 seconds till the halftime horn. 6 seconds between the shot clock and game clock here. North Polk kicks it out, top of the key. Nemmers, three, short. Another offensive rebound for North Polk. Three on the way again, that doesn't go. But another offensive rebound. The glass littered here, a steal for Hardman.
That's 6, 5.
8th turnover. Hardman at the buzzer for three, can't get it to go.
Lucked out on that one.
The Comets take a 36-27 lead into our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. Blaine Forsyth when we come back after this on KRLS.
What's the beef about beef? It all comes down to where it comes from. That's why you can count on Hy-Vee Choice Reserve beef. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve comes from only the best Midwest farmers and ranchers. And we say only the best because less than 10% of USDA choice beef even meets Hy-Vee's strict standards for tenderness and flavor. Less than 10%. Hand-selected, cut fresh daily. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve is your choice for the best beef.
This November at Pella Motors, it is Black Friday all month long. Save some money this winter and sign now for no payments for 90 days. Or take advantage of $12,000 off select Ram 1500s, $3,000 off Jeep Grand Cherokee L, and up to $4,000 in savings on select Chevy Silverados. Plus, see our large selection of pre-owned vehicles at PellaMotors.com. We are dealing. Stop in today or check us out online at PellaMotors.com.
There are 2 new films showing right now at Pella Cinemas. The best-selling true story Devotion, rated PG, takes you to the skies with the first black naval aviator in the Korean War and his devoted white fellow pilot. He wasn't just the first, he was the best. The other is Disney's new animated film Strange World, rated PG. You won't believe your eyes with this colorful, imaginative adventure. And held over is the #1 mega blockbuster, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, rated PG-13. For a list of showtimes, visit pellet-cinemas.com and enjoy a movie at Pella Cinemas.
At Delivery.com, we work with more than a dozen Pella restaurants to bring hot and fresh food right to you at your home or business for lunch and dinner. Unlike the competition, when we're open for orders, we have drivers staffed ready to deliver, which is how we operate a 95% on-time rate. And for a limited time, our delivery fee is only $3.99. So when life gets busy or you just don't want to cook, check out Delivery.com and see all the great local Pella restaurants that are available for delivery today. That's Delivery.com.
Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show on 92.1 KRLS. Boys score at the half is 36-27. Here with girls head coach Blaine Forsyth for our first in-season interview following the team's 73-46 loss to North Polk. Coach, that's an awfully good team that was in your gym here tonight. And after the first half, felt like a fairly close game. You kept it within about a 7 to 10 point margin for the majority of that first half. Thought like if you had a good run coming out of the third quarter, it could have been closer. It was North Polk that made that good run. They pulled away. Your thoughts about having to play a tough, experienced team here for your home opener?
Yeah, you know, Trevor or Andrew, sorry.
Everyone's doing that tonight. You know what's going to happen when you talk to Trevor? It's going to go the other way.
Andrew, you're right. You know, it was a tough one for us, and it was a great opportunity for us, play a top team, see where we're at the start of the season. You never want to lose by 30, but I think there's a lot of learning opportunities for us and a lot of growth that we can apply to practice even tomorrow to continue to take steps to where we want to be at the end of the year. You know, we have a lot of girls in new roles from what they were last year, so adjusting to those, getting those figured out. The only way you're going to do that is by playing really good basketball teams, and North Polk is a top team in Class 4A. So proud of our girls for the effort that they gave. Obviously disappointed with the outcome, but no, we're gonna get better from this, and us as coaches, we're going to coach them up so that we can be prepared for Friday against Norwalk.
Well, and so often when you're an underdog, especially one that doesn't have a ton of experience on the floor, at least the same way you might have the last couple of years, you want to get off to a fast start, and that was the other thing. Both halves started with big North Polk runs, and it felt like just the entire time you were chasing, and that showed when it came to rebounding and crisp passing and turnovers. It wasn't there because it probably felt like there was always pressure because you were behind the whole time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, I actually felt pretty good with where we were at halftime. You know, down 12, 14 points, and a lot of our kind of mistakes were just little things. We weren't boxing out. We weren't getting after the rebounds, and we had a lot of empty possessions where they were unforced turnovers. We're throwing the ball away or a travel here and there. So I thought if we could get those things cleaned up, we could chip away at that lead. We talked about our response. We wanted to get it under 10 in the first 4-6 minutes of the third quarter, and we just weren't able to do that. And us as coaches, we need to better prepare them for those in practice and in those game situations so that they're confident and can cut that lead and continue to chip away.
Well, and you mentioned Norwalk coming up on Friday. It feels like, Coach, the last couple years, several years for boys and girls basketball, Norwalk is a really good barometer for where you're at as a program. Both teams have been extremely close. On the boys, there's been some back-to-back, they win a state championship. We won one a couple years later. Then obviously on the girls' side, it's been probably the most competitive game the girls play year in and year out. It's been with Norwalk, and it feels like Friday's going to be no exception. A really good test coming up on Friday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're always looking forward to our conference games, and they're going to be battles every single night. Norwalk brings back a couple girls from last year. They have one of their sophomore guards, and then the Larson girl, and they're going to get after us just with their defensive presence. They look a little bit different offensively without their big and Ava Johnson, but they're still going to be tough. They get to the paint. They're a well-coached team, and so we're looking forward to that opportunity, kind of like you said, see where we're at within the conference. Looking forward to taking that step forward and really for our girls to respond the right way after tonight.
That's it, Coach Blaine Forsyth joining us following the team's loss to North Polk. Coach, 1-1. Obviously, we'll see you Friday. Trevor, we'll get to see you, and probably a much more competitive game we're looking forward to then, right?
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it.
We'll have more of our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show after this. Pella Dutch Live. It's 36-27, North Polk leading the Dutch.
Make sure to check out the holiday season savings at your Knoxville Napa Auto Parts store. Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil is $23.99. Hopkins 35-inch snow brush and scrapers are $11.49. 20-pound bags of Roadrunner ice melt are $7.29. Power Service Diesel Fuel Additive plus Cetane Boost is $8.99. And Power Service Diesel 911 Fuel Deicer is $9.99. These holiday season savings and more at your Knoxville Napa Auto Parts store.
Napa know-how.
The Pella community features wonderful Dutch architecture all around town, but there's one place in downtown Pella that takes you right into the heart of Amsterdam. A beautiful brick walk featuring a winding canal, a working drawbridge, and a classic old-world atmosphere. Welcome to the Molengraat, home to Pella's finest lodging at the Amsterdam Hotel. Dining with Liberty Street Kitchen and Oriental Express, Beautiful You Salon, Pella Nail Salon, the Pella Window and Door Showroom, and many service businesses. You can even take in a movie at Pella Cinemas. Good luck to our local sports teams from the Molengraat in Pella.
It's the most wonderful time of year for love, for romance, and for getting engaged. Make this the Christmas that she will remember forever. Choose Gardner Collier Jewelry because nobody does Christmas diamonds that will wow her like we do. Choose Gardner Collier Jewelry, where the area's largest selections of diamonds are now on sale. Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Central Mall, Oskaloosa.
We have to find a funzo for Taryn for Christmas.
This is the 5th mall today. We've been looking everywhere. Can I help you?
Please tell me you have a funzo.
We've been sold out for weeks.
Anything I can help you with?
Any chance you have a funzo in stock?
It's your lucky day. We have one left.
Yes!
You've been relentless with this funzo, just like Brand Appeal's been relentless in developing new and original concepts for our company's rebranding initiative.
For branding, print, web, interactive, and video, get Brand Appeal. Relentless for you.
And we're back inside the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. Let's quickly go inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber. 8 points for Luke Hardman, 6 for Kaicha, 6 for Tyson Barnes, 3 for Cam Schulte, Ramon Hugan with 2. Hugan and Schulte playing the second half with 3 fouls. Balance scoring for the Comets, Rutledge with 8, Nemmers with 6, Postel with 6, Cole Krings with 7, and Austin Parkins with 5. That's inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber, where every home gets a gig. Join the movement today at PellaFiber.com. Bringing back in Phil Hemming. I'm Andrew Schneider. 36-27 as we look at our second half adjustments presented by the Gurus of Garage Doors at DeYoung Door Service in Pella. Obviously, the Dutch had a nice first quarter, but we saw those signs at the end of the first quarter. A ton of turnovers, losing the rebounding battle quite a bit, and North Polk is taking advantage.
Yeah, I think, keys for us this half is we have to value the ball. We can't throw 50-50 passes or passes into traffic or into somebody's hands. is something, top to bottom that this team needs to work on. And then, I think making sure we get good box outs, that we try to control the glass, get second chance efforts too on the offensive end. And then I would say, as we talk about identity, I think guys just need to hunt for their shots a little bit. Shooters need to shoot, need to come off screens ready to catch and shoot.
Your second half adjustments are presented by the gurus of garage doors at the Young Door Service in Pella.
We're the gurus of garage doors, the Young Door Service in Pella.
And that'll wrap up our Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. For tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change and full mechanical work. Stop and see Shonda Ward and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. Andrew Schneider and Phil Hemming coming to you in our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. North Polk 36, Pella 27, and it feels like, Phil, the way things have been going, a strong start might be a good cure, a little bit of medicine here for the Dutch if they can get a couple buckets and steals here early and maybe knock off some of this momentum of a much more experienced North Polk team.
Yeah, I mean, we came out hot, shooting the ball, looking for our shots early, and I think we need to get that momentum back and really come out looking to be on the attack.
A very intriguing Straver Cellular Instant Radio update. Southeast Polk 35, Indianola 33. A big quarter for the Rams, who Pella scrimmaged 1 week ago on Tuesday. And Indianola, who is the presumed heavy favorite to win the Little Hawkeye Conference this year, Phil, is down at the half.
I mean, Southeast Polk just full of athletes. We saw them at their scrimmage, but they were still down 2 or 3 starters from football.
Another offensive rebound, by the way, here for North Polk. They had a shot blocked. Second offensive rebound. This time the board is cleared by Cam Schulte. So on the other side, Van Howen for three. Yes, Trey Van Howen gets his first bucket of the new year.
That's what I'm talking about. You set up the shooter so the shooter can step right into his shot, catch ready to shoot. Trey, with no hesitation, buries it.
Cam Schulte, by the way, with 4 rebounds in his short time on the floor. Off the screen, here's Rutledge, just inside the line for 2.
Nice little pull-up from Rutledge.
He leads both teams with 10 points. Hugan bringing it down the floor. Out to Kaitcha, starting 5 on the floor for both teams. Here's Hardman. In the corner, Hugan. Back out to Luke. Luke Hardman, free throw line, kicks it out.
I'm going to call him for an offensive. Wow.
And an offensive foul. First turnover of the half for the Dutch. Second foul for Hardman. Pella racked up the fouls like they were Halloween candy, going door to door, and now they're in a lot of foul trouble here.
And a lot of offensive fouls.
Yes.
I think we had 3, and there's 1 to start this half. So, guys kind of seem to be charging into traffic with limbs flailing, and this crew is going to call it. They're not going to – that defender was moving, but they see that shoulder or that limb drop. They're calling it.
38-30, North Polk with an 8-point advantage. One they built at the end of the second quarter, in case you missed it, presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella. Traven Howen leaps high for a rebound after the miss and has it poked out from behind. A steal by Reggie Postel. The second turnover of the half already for the Dutch. And Hugan playing with 3 fouls, getting really grabby. Shot misses. Putback is in. That's Graydon Sullivan, his first bucket. He's got 6 rebounds, 4 of which are offensive. 40-30. Not to pick on Roman, but you got 3 fouls, and you want to be aggressive, Phil, but obviously you can kind of see how some of these Dutch players are getting those fouls. You can call officiating what you will, but Pella, a lot of arms that are reaching in, trying to get those extra possessions.
Yeah, Roman sometimes gets a little reachy or gets his body into the offensive player and just has to be careful with 3. There's Trey again.
And he'll knock it in for 3. Trey Van Howen back-to-back threes. Trying to get these Dutch going. They're down by 7. The great equalizer, Phil, is shooting. And Van Howen went for the steal. This is Nemmers.
Going to get Roman. Now this, I mean, who do you give it to?
They gave it to Hugan.
That's going to be 4?
That's his 4th.
Wow.
And Hugan, who just gives you such a physical presence on the floor, is going to be sitting out for the majority of this game.
Yeah, and he's so quick, right? He's been involved in a lot of those steals just because of his athleticism.
But sometimes if it's called a little tighter and you're super aggressive, Hardman knocks it out of bounds. You get those fouls racked up quickly. And that's also a little bit of inexperience in the sense of, Phil, you want him to be aggressive, but when you're playing with 3 fouls this early in the half, you got to play differently, right?
Well, 2 of those fouls were frustration fouls, right?
Yep.
And as an inexperienced player, I mean, that's something that he's got to learn, and also coaching staff's going to kind of tell him and coach him to not make that same mistake twice, right?
Dribble drive for North Polk. It's short, rebound to Van Houen. And we're not picking on Ramon. It's just the obvious issue. And here's the other issue for the Dutch. They'll throw it away again. I've got North Polk down for 9 steals right now out of 15 Pella turnovers. The rest of those, Phil, have been offensive fouls.
Yeah, Van Houen got his hand on that one.
And there's a big 3 for Rutledge and a potential backbreaker for the Dutch, who've been trying to claw their way back in. They're now down by 10.
There's another
Treto.
Oh, they're going to give a block.
Parkins charged with the foul. First of the half for the Comets. Pella down by 10.
Guess I'm not sure what is and isn't a charge here tonight.
I was about to say, that easily could have been a 50-50
Yeah.
call. That one looked like it was more of a offensive foul maybe than the last one that was called, Phil, in the sense of the defensive player moving. He was in perfect position there. Kaichis probably should have been called with a travel there.
Yeah, a little
Didn't.
hop step. Get his hands off there, finally.
Van Houen looking for separation from Postel. His second foul. Second foul of the half. Now we're even on that tally. 4:54 remaining here in the third. Game reset presented by champion seat dealer Jay Boat.
Another blocking foul. So maybe
3 quick fouls.
Maybe this young crew talked a little at halftime. Maybe we better even it out because it was very lopsided. Now they're getting the touchy fouls here.
Treto will get the inbounds. He's seeing a lot of extended time with Hugan on the bench with 4 fouls. Van Houen.
A moving screen again.
And that is the 4th foul on Cam Schulte. The bad news for Pella is that their fouls have been concentrated on 2 very important players in the scheme of what Coach Schulte wants to accomplish early in the season. Much like the scoring, North Polk's been able to spread the load, and they have no players with more than 2. 43-33 Comets, 4.5 to play third quarter. Here's Nemmers. One-on-one defense from Van Houen. Treto guarding up on Rutledge, who leads all scorers with 13. Shot clock down to 12. Top of the key, 3 on the way for Postel. He'll miss it. Wide of the mark, and here's Van Houen. Trey up ahead to Kaichis, back to Trey. Trey with a couple of 3s in this quarter, looking for Hardman. Luke Hardman bouncing his way, grinding into the paint. Too strong on the shot. Then a jump ball on the rebound. Arrow stays with Pella.
You know, and that may be just a little rust for Luke, but certainly he's getting opportunities near the basket, just needs to finish. He's had a lot of nice drives and layups, just come up short.
Tyson Barnes into the game, had a really nice first half. And another foul on Cole Krings.
That's 2 quick ones on him.
And now up to 4. This might be the first time, Phil, that Pella's had the advantage on the foul counter. In fact, I think it was because they had so many racked up in that first quarter. Now here's Hardman. Hardman looking for separation. He's bumped into and
offensive foul
another
ball.
offensive foul. Another Dutch turnover, their 4th of the second half. 43-33 with 3:54 remaining here in the third. Been a lot of activity, Phil, in a short window of time. All these quarters because of the foul calls and the turnovers and all the above.
Getting our money's worth tonight.
Some 3/4 court pressure here for North Polk.
10 seconds.
And the shot clock reflects it.
That was
first turnover of this half for North Polk, by the way. Three fouls on Luke Hardman, by the way, too. Dutch have it on their half. It's Kaichis out to Hardman. Hardman gets stuck on the dribble. A lot of aggressive defense coming out here from North Polk. Hardman dribble drive, and he's fouled. 2 shots coming. Frustration from a lot of these players with how tight things have been called here. I'm not saying if they're right or wrong. It's just that's what they're being consistent at least. They're not letting a lot of contact go.
Yeah, it's hard to get rhythm in a game with this many fouls.
Strawberry Cellular Instant Radio Update, PCM 52, Knoxville 33. Boys action after 3 on 95.3 KNIA. Also on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, it's Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont 13, Pella Christian 11. New look Eagles team led by Tyson DeVries and company. Should be a really, really salty 2A team by year's end on the boys' side. And Indianola trailing Southeast Polk 35-33 on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard, where they're serving you and building community across the Red Rock area. Hardman goes 2 for 2. He's got 10. More pressure for the Dutch, trying to nibble away at what has been a mostly 8 to 10 point lead for a good portion of the game now for North Polk.
Yeah, showing a little 1-2-2 pressure. Back to man.
Comets and the Dutch a year ago were probably in the toughest sub-state of anybody in the entire state with the talented teams of Bondurant and Winterset. There's a steal for Luke Keichus. Second turnover. Hardman, 3, short. Tyson Barnes, offensive rebound. Back to Hardman, who loses it, but Trado's there to get it. Tyson Barnes has been the unsung hero so far off the bench. He's looking for more post points, and he won't get it. It was a good look.
And
just misses.
Almost tried to get his own rebound, but reached in. Luckily, we didn't get the call after as many whistles as we've seen.
Graydon Sullivan ends up with the rebound. North Polk, 2:30 remaining. Down low, Sullivan loses the handle on it, and it's a turnover Dutch. The window's been opened a couple times, but the Dutch offensively have not been able to cash in. Trado trying to, and he does for 3.
Very unorthodox way to get it there, but we'll take it.
It forces a Vision for Less timeout. In the blink of an eye, the Dutch back within 5. Delivery.com is the restaurant delivery service in Pella with great local restaurants, including George's, Canaritos, Yamoto, Liberty Street Kitchen, Dutch Fix, and more. And you can have fresh food delivered right to your home or business for lunch or dinner. This is our first game, so let's get your orders in now, and we'll have a fan of the game coming up on Friday and moving forward. You can win $10 on your next order. That's a lot that goes to your next order. Of course, you want to tip generously, Phil, as we talk about always with Delivery.com. But make sure you stop by and order on game nights just as we're kicking off our broadcast.
We should be adding Veet Thai this week. So new
you
flavor.
Really?
Yeah, adding them this week.
You have an idea of what I'm going to be ordering now this week whenever you get that up, Phil.
Yeah, they should be a new partner of ours this week, so we're excited to bring them on board.
All right, I got to write that one down or keep that.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I had a good experience when I went there last time. Excited. And as always, the Asian food takes out really well.
Oh,
delivers
yeah,
well.
It's great. And I will tell you, be careful on the spice.
Oh, I know. I went a little too overboard on the red pepper flakes.
The first time I said, I'm a 1 or 2, and she cooked me up a 1 or 2, and it was hot.
The chili oil they have has a lot in it.
A lot
we'll
of
just say that.
So enjoy it, but order with caution.
On Delivery.com, see if you're our next fan of the game. Vision for Less timeout. Pella's in this one, Phil.
Yeah, we got some stops, got a steal, knocked down a 3, right back in it. Now just need to value that basketball that Coach Schulte talks about.
Pella still trying to extend the defense and force more pressure here on North Polk, who led comfortably really from the second half of the second quarter till about now. Cameron Rowe on the floor for the Dutch on the other side of the Vision for Less timeout. 43-38, minute 53 remaining here in the third. At the half-court line.
Over and back.
Over and back, and a turnover.
Yeah, another stop for the Dutch.
4 turnovers, Phil, in about the last 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's a two-possession game. Chance to.
You can tell this is a pretty
crew.
new crew.
Yeah, I got a couple newbies and a veteran.
That's all right. We need more newbies.
Yep. Just correcting him, telling him where to throw it in.
Pella is over the half-court line. Minute 41 in what has been an eventful third quarter so far. Oh, looking for Van Howen on the open 3, but a good cutoff by Austin Parkins reading that. That's where the ball was going to go. Tips it out.
Yeah, and North Polk in a zone there. 3-2.
Boy,
zone.
How many times throughout the years have teams dared to play zone against Pella basketball, who's renowned for being the three-point shooting team?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. But
careless pass by the Dutch and a turnover. Rowe wasn't looking for it. Hold that thought. 3 on the way, no good. But, yeah, don't see the zone too much. Rowe gets the rebound.
No, I was actually watching that Winterset game that we closed this season out again, and that zone really gave us fits that last game last year.
Trado trying to get a one-possession game on the three, no good. Can Van Houen keep the hot shoeing going? No. Another offensive rebound. Trado flips it in.
Scoop and score.
Couple of offensive rebounds for the Dutch, and they're back within one score, 43-40. Under a minute to play in the third. Tip and a steal, Trado.
Got to turn this now. Got to turn it.
Pella kicks it out to Hardman. And Pella nearly throws it away. Van Houen out to Hardman to tie for three.
There it is.
Yes! Luke Hardman ties the game, and the Dutch student section fired up. 43-43. Pella was down by 10. Randall Roofing, the Raise the Roof moment of the game, part 2, when the moment arises. And it's time for a new roof. Think Randall Roofing. And Pella has tied this game at 43. And a shot that hits off the bottom of the backboard may have been blocked from behind. Rowe gets the rebound.
Got to take one here. Take one, boys.
Pella looking for the lead.
Yeah, get it in the hands here of your scorer.
In the corner, Trado. 3 seconds remaining. Trying to get it to Hardman. They had to shoot it, and they didn't. And I think Coach Schulte's like, Trey, take that shot. But either way, Phil, a brand new ball game.
Yeah, we got one quarter, 0-0, right?
43-43 inside our Pella Real Estate Services broadcast booth. New ball game when we come back.
Season's greetings from the Colors by Heather family. I'm Heather.
And I'm Tate. The new year is a time of change for everyone, even your wall color.
New year, new paint. We have openings starting in 2023. So if you need a refreshed paint job, drywall repairs, or general handyman work, contact us at 641-230-0182.
Or DM us at Colors by Heather on Facebook. Happy holidays from our crew.
Nikki, Marianne,
Heather,
and me, Tate.
We look forward to serving you.
At Marion County Bank, we love the communities we serve.
In fact, it's why we do what we do. From the report card program that gives back to the school of your choice,
to all the community events, sponsorships, and donations we are proud to be a part of.
from the volunteer efforts of our staff,
to partnering in the success story of your business, farming operation, or personal financial journey. We go beyond banking. We share in the life of the community.
Marion County Bank, serving you, building community. Member FDIC.
43-all inside our Pella Real Estate Services radio broadcast booth. Andrew Schneider and Phil Hemming. Pella will start with a defensive possession. That's why the end of the quarter possession was so important. But new ball game. North Polk will start with the ball. And Phil, obviously for the Dutch, nice little rally. Didn't look perfect or pretty at all, but hey, it's a matter of accomplishing it, right? You'll work on the execution as the season goes on. The fact that Pella's tied the game is a victory in on itself.
Reach in there on Hardman.
That's his fourth.
Boy.
So Schulte with 4.
That is
Hugen with 4, and this is a
blow there.
But again, I don't think part of it, me thinks that Luke wasn't quite aware of how many fouls he had. That's the kind of foul, Phil, the kind of reaching you make when you have 2 fouls on you, right? Aggressive play, that's fine, but when you got 3, that's a huge loss for the Dutch.
Well, it's just a reach-in foul too, you know.
Wasn't like a drive-in shot.
No, just there's a nice block from Kaichis.
And the loose ball rebound, Trado comes up with it. For the lead, nice. Tyson Barnes, yes.
Nice unselfish pass. Now that is good teamwork there. Van Houen to Barnes.
45-43. Kick out right side, take the lead right back, and they will. Jackson Rutledge, the top scorer, up until Hardman's 3 at the end of the third, is back on top with 16, and a big answer for the Comets after they had a rough stretch to end that third quarter. Down low, Barnes, can he do it some more? Yes. Tyson Barnes, a lot of old school post-man turnaround jumper there. 47-46, that was a rec league shot, right?
Yeah, I mean, just a solid post presence. You know, he feels confident around the basket, and it's kind of been a while since we've seen that style of play for us. Have a big man really working inside the paint.
That was the YMCA 8-foot jump shot. No good. Barnes gets the rebound. 5 rebounds, 10 points for Tyson Barnes, and he is very much in the running of our McCall Monument Monumental Radio Player of the Game. Kaichis passes up a 3 in the corner. Van Houen will take it to extend the lead. No. Rebound controlled by the Comets. Back and forth we go here in the fourth quarter. Pella trailed by as much as 10 in case you missed it. Presented by Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
And they have tied the game and now have taken a couple of leads here in the fourth. But they got a ton of foul trouble they're going to have to navigate. So it's so critical, Phil, that if Pella can stay ahead, or at least keep it within a possession, because they cannot get into a game where they need a foul. And there's a long shot. Rowe tasked with the foul as he gets tied up with Rutledge.
Schulte's going to roll the dice here, putting 3 players in with 4 fouls.
If you can extend your lead now, it may not matter. But
Yeah.
You're right. The issue on defense is you are one whistle away from losing one of your 3 leaders. Now, to be fair, they've done most of this comeback, Phil, without Ramon and without Cam. I think the big risk is number 3 in Hardman and what he brings as a presence on the floor, at least in this game.
Yeah, and his free throw shooting. I mean, Luke's traditionally a great free throw shooter as the game wears on. But, you know, we talk about finding their identity, and this is really it. I mean, you know, the nice thing with this team is I haven't seen a big drop-off. Coach Schulte's played about 9 guys tonight.
Yep.
And really done a nice job of kind of working them in, and seems to really have a nice, solid group.
Here's Barnes. Out to Hardman. In the corner, Van Howen to extend the lead. No, airmails it. Right idea, not great execution. And there's a foul on Barnes. Counted and 1, a big answer for Krings. And you said it, Phil, did not get back on defense.
Yeah, it just got beat. I mean, shot goes up and 5 guys look, and somebody leaks out. They're able to get it over top. It happens to be their big guy. And we talk about kind of frustration foul. Barnes felt like, I didn't get back. I better try to make a play. Turns into a 3-point play.
Cole Krings has had a nice night, 10 points off the bench. Maybe not off the bench much longer for North Polk. He's had a really good impact when he's been on the floor. Here's Hugan. Out to Hardman. Off the screen from Schulte. And a lot of traffic. And Pella maybe gets a bailout call there because Hardman lost control of the ball, Phil, I thought for a second, but they'll say it was North Polk making that happen.
Someone hitting his arm. Pella, someone's got to throw it in here.
This is Postel, by the way, with his 3rd foul. This will be the last inbound for either team. Off a foul, I should say. Free throws the rest of the way. Hugan off the juke move, can't get it to go.
No fouls, no fouls.
Parkins the rebound. North Polk has a 2-point lead, 49-47. A huge 3-point play has swung it back toward the Comets, who have the ball in the lead.
No foul.
North Polk really staying on the far perimeter near the volleyball line here. Left side to Nemmers. Nemmers has 6 first-half points, has been quiet since then. Rutledge, the leading scorer, with 16. 7 seconds on the shot clock. He'll step back, contested 3. It's no good, hits off the top of the rebound. Team rebound to the Dutch. And we've got Trado in for Traven Howen. 49-47, 4:52 remaining in the fourth. A game reset presented by champion seed leader Jay Boat. And the Dutch looking to get back, either tie or take the lead on this possession here. Trado slowly down the floor. Long dribble here, has nowhere to go with it. Kaichis gives him an outlet. Here's Hugan. Hugan was trying to get it out to Hardman. Tipped away by Rutledge.
16 on the shot clock.
And that is a factor now. When you think about typically tipping out, you're never worried, but if it gets late in that shot clock, it can turn what a possession looks like in terms of the inbound and what you execute. Here's Trado. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. He's at the big green P at the center. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Pella's got to get something going here.
Got to get a shot.
Hugan. Contested 3, Ooh. Banks it off and couldn't get it to go. It went in and out. And a rebound for North Polk. So close.
Really kind of the only time we've seen the shot clock really play
Matter.
a role in this game, yeah.
Well, and I think that's if you get an inbounds play.
Oh, travel.
And a travel.
Great defensive positioning by Kaichis.
5th turnover of the half for North Polk. Traven Howen in. Trado out. 49-47. Pella trying to steal the victory here after a deep deficit in the 3rd quarter. Ramon Hugen has it at half court, off to Kaichis. Kaichis out to Hugen. Hugen thought about a three, instead finds Hardman. Hardman finding in the paint, and he misses the pass at a wide open Schulte and an easy two.
Yeah, Schulte with a great baseline cut. Luke found him, just slipped through his hands.
3:45 remaining in regulation. North Polk has had several chances to extend this lead after a three-point play by Cole Krings gave it back to him. Pella led briefly to start this fourth quarter. Comets trying to salt this one away. 3:37 and counting, 26 seconds on the shot clock. It's a 35-second shot clock, so North Polk obviously can't hold the ball forever, but it's still a situation where they don't have to rush entirely here. Tipped away by Schulte.
Gotta be careful we don't foul.
Van Howen.
There it is.
Tipped
nice
away.
steal.
Here's Hugen. Hugen on the move, and he's fouled.
Hit the wall hard too. Good thing new Dutch pad there.
Yeah.
Soften the blow.
Hugen with the steal. It was an interception, more or less, like a defensive back tracking it down. And they'll have a chance at two shots here. Hugen's first is pure. A quiet night for Oman, 3 points, but he does have 2 steals and a block shot despite having 4 fouls right out of the gates in the third quarter, second half. Your video presentation on Pella Dutch Live, by the way, presented by Vanderlinden Services, and Hugen will tie it.
Roman knocks them both down, tie it up. Pella back to their 1-2-2 pressure.
See if they can get another steal and get a lead here. 3:05 remaining in regulation. Here's Rutledge at the half-court line.
Both teams in the bonus, so fouls are going to be real critical here.
Kick out left side to Rutledge, 16 points to lead all scorers. Here's Hudson Quinn off the bench. It's tipped around, and an offensive foul. 2 Pella Dutch players took a charge.
Really got lucky there because Sullivan had Van Howen in the block. We were able to draw the offensive foul.
Kaichis will inbound. Pella can take the lead back here in the fourth.
So player control, no shooting or free throws on that. But they are with 18 fouls now, 2 away from the double bonus.
Hardman in the corner. Here's Van Howen. Baseline pass.
Kick. That's a kick.
And they don't call it. It's a turnover, a steal for Ollinger.
Yeah, anytime a player uses his foot to stop the ball, it should be a dead ball situation. Young official missed the call, and the Pella coaching staff let him have it.
49 all. Can North Polk take advantage? 3 on the way, no good. Offensive rebound. There's Sullivan.
It's a loose ball.
Bouncing around. North Polk extra pass, beautifully done. Krings takes advantage, and a vision for last time out for Coach Schulte. Let's check in on our Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard. PCM 70, Knoxville 52, that's a final. Indianola takes the lead in a high-scoring affair over at Indianola, 60-54 after 3. See if we can get an update from Eagle Lane. Our own Tyler Crabb has seemingly gotten caught up in the
emotion of that one.
Or just the difficulty often of, it's tough. You got the interview, I missed it too. Let's see what we have here, our Strawver Cellular Instant Radio update. It is Rockets 35, Eagles 30, 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
A little bit of a surprise, maybe.
Yeah, Pella Christian, I think, is a team that will be very, very tough.
Got to find themselves this season, a lot like this team.
No Eric Mulder to be that presence as he has been for so long. On the other side of a vision for less time out, Pella down by 2, 51-49. Hugen out to Schulte. Left side here is Hardman. Hardman out to Van Howen. Van Howen thought about a 3, instead passes it back to Hardman left wing. Luke dribbles into some traffic.
Careful.
Count it. No. Lot of traffic, and he's too strong as Parkins clears the rebound. Like you said, had to be careful. At the same time, maybe not the shot he wanted there. Just a lot of bodies to have to navigate. North Polk can take control here with a minute 20. It's a steal by Schulte.
Watch.
Here's the Dutch. Count it, and one. An offensive foul.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Well,
unbelievable. I mean, this guy they've been trigger happy on the charges all night. That is a terrible call. That player was backpedaling the entire way, did not hold his ground, made contact with the
Schulte's got
shooter.
5 fouls. So he fouls out on that one.
Wow. You know, this is a varsity game, not JV. I'm sorry. There's been a couple really, really bad critical calls down the stretch here.
And they've gone against the Dutch here.
Well, that have changed the score of the game. I mean, that is a blatantly bad call. Followed up by the same official that missed the kick.
Yeah.
You know, that's 2 possessions he's robbed us of.
North Polk looking to take advantage again, up 51-49. A minute left here in the fourth. And a kick out. Here's Nemmers. Nemmers backdoor cut. 11 seconds on the shot clock here, and North Polk capitalizes. 53-49. Out to Kaichis. Kaichis for a 3. It's short. Rebound bounds off the head of Trado, and he's down and he's hurt. 29 seconds remaining in a Vision for Less injury timeout as Braden Trado is slow to get up. He's got to get off the floor. You got to get him off the floor, Coach Schulte.
Little woozy.
He's woozy. He's got to get out of here. Barnes is on. Yeah, Trado doesn't know where he's. I hate to.
That is.
He's clearly not.
Something. Yeah, just real woozy, and
that hit him square in the face.
Unfortunately, that means he's gonna probably not be playing Friday. I don't want to speculate, but yeah, when you stagger like that, it's not good.
That was off of Trado, by the way. Barnes will get the foul off. Yeah. That's not much else you can say, Phil, and we got to, we do our best to bite our tongue, but the reality of the situation is 2 calls going against the Dutch have probably cost them this game, or at least an opportunity to be tied here. They would have taken the lead on what was a very controversial call.
It's 2 critical calls that I believe changed maybe not the outcome, but certainly changed the landscape of the last minute.
Parkins gets the shot in after the offensive rebound by North Polk. With 17 seconds remaining, Pella turns it over.
But I will say this, games aren't won and lost on 1 or 2 calls. It's the 50-50 balls we threw all night, the turnovers we've had.
A reach in by Van Houen with 4 seconds left, and North Polk will get a first victory, much to the chagrin of the Dutch coaching staff and faithful here tonight, who felt like Pella had chances to really do it well. The critical calls we're talking about were the missed kick underneath. Phil, it was tied. North Polk goes down and scores. An and one opportunity. Should have been an and one for Cam Schulte. Turns in the other way. North Polk goes down and scores. So again, you get the stops on the other side. That's irrelevant, but those are 2 back-breaking plays where Pella gets 4 points taken away from them, essentially, and North Polk, credit them, took advantage, and they, down the stretch, made the plays to win it.
Yeah, I mean, it stinks, but, that's the way the cookie crumbles, they say, right? And honestly, I watched this film, and there's 50 things that we could have done differently that would have changed the outcome as well. And, that's what Pella has to look at, is not the 1 or 2 calls. It's all the 50-50 passes and the turnovers they had that led them to being in a tight game and giving up that lead they had in the first half.
Your final score, North Polk 57, Pella 49. Our Cadmus out of Pella Radio postgame show when we come back after this.
'Tis the season for connection, and U.S. Cellular is celebrating by offering any phone free for everyone. Any brand, any storage, for new and current customers. Plus, our price protection guarantee means that your rates won't go up. That's locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit us in-store or online for details on getting any phone free today.
Come check out America's locally grown wireless at U.S. Cellular. Visit Strawber Cellular, a U.S. Cellular authorized agent located at 826 Main Street in Pella.
McCall Monument is the most trusted monument company in Iowa. This is Reed. We have been here helping families get their perfect memorial for over 150 years.
This is Wyatt. We are the monument experts. We don't plan funerals and we don't sell caskets. We are craftsmen with a full-service shop and artists on staff.
I'm Lee. We have a standard here at McCall Monument. In all our years in business, we have never called on a grieving family, and we never will. In your family's time of need, our family is here for you.
Memories become treasure. McCall Monument.
As fall sports season rolls on, have Raceway Tire and Exhaust team you up with a set of Firestone tires. Check out the Firestone Destination line of tires. Whether you drive a truck or SUV, there's a Firestone Destination tire just right for you. And Raceway Tire and Exhaust is your complete auto care center from bumper to bumper. No matter what your vehicle needs, take it to Raceway Tire and Exhaust in Knoxville.
Raceway Tire and Exhaust. We got what you need to get you on the go.
The signals on the car go blink, 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 blink. The signals on the car go blink, blink, blink at Central Tire and Auto.
We all share the road, so if your turn signals are burned out, stop into Central Tire and Auto and get them fixed. For tires, front-end work, their no-appointment oil change, full mechanical work on your vehicle, and the little things like new turn signals. Stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. Everybody now.
Jerry and Lucy Ellis of Pella were building a new home, and Mike Blom with Cabinet Design and Wood Harbor Cabinetry made everything a breeze.
It was such an easy process. We had cabinets in the kitchen, 3 bathrooms, a utility room, and we could pick all that out in 1 hour and a half because he had exactly what you needed to make your house look beautiful.
Hi, I'm Mike Blom, the Cabinet Guy. Cabinet Design of Pella, where we expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations.
November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and at Knoxville Hospital and Clinics, our diabetes education team is dedicated to providing one-on-one care close to home. Hi, I'm Lauren Berry, a registered dietitian at Knoxville Hospital and Clinics. By working together, we can make sure you are choosing healthy foods, making time for regular physical activity, and sticking with your diabetes treatment plan. To learn more about our diabetes services and to register for our monthly diabetes support group, visit knoxvillehospital.org or call 641-842-1522.
This is the Cabinet Design of Pella radio postgame show where they expand and enhance your ideas beyond your expectations. Call Mike Blom, the Cabinet Guy, at Cabinet Design of Pella. Andrew Schneider and Phil Hemming, a sweep by North Polk here tonight. The girls win 73-46, and the guys from the Comets 57-49. Phil, obviously, you know, we talked right at the end about the controversial calls, and we'll leave those back in the game. Because what we talked about on the onset of the boys' broadcast was the little things, the mistakes, the things that were adding up. Pella probably, in a lot of ways, outplayed North Polk for a good portion of this game and could have been the better team on paper. And it's the little execution things. We can blame as much as you want on the officials in 2 calls here and there, but how many turnovers? I unofficially, and tried my best to keep count, have 23 turnovers. Got beat on the boards consistently in that second half. If you don't do those little things well, Phil, you're not going to win a lot of games anyway. Pella was in a great position to have the chance despite those many mistakes, and there's going to be a lot of learning that comes from that.
Well, and you say 23 turnovers, but there's probably another 10 you could add to that of 50-50 passes where the ball was tipped, or we played ping pong down here.
Yeah.
Where was it 2 turnovers? Was it 3?
Yeah.
Was it, you know? And we had a lot of those, and so that's where the game is won and lost in the margins, the rebounding, the turnovers, and North Polk, credit them. I mean, they executed down the stretch better than we did. A couple bad calls didn't go our way. Did change the outcome of that last minute, but certainly didn't. Pella had their chances in many other ways to win this game, and in some regards gave it away.
Well, and just from we're not picking on the officials here, but those 2 plays, North Polk cashes in. Those are my McCall Monumental Radio plays of the game, right? Pella has a chance with a tie game both times to take leads, and credit North Polk, regardless of what you think of the officials' missed call or no call or whatever, they go down and score, right? They are composed enough to put themselves in that position. And honestly, North Polk, like you said, in the fourth quarter, those were my plays of the game. Pella did an excellent job, Phil, of getting it back even. They were down by 10 several times in that third quarter. had a nice little run there at the end of the third to tie it, but obviously North Polk cashed in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, we talk about having to find our identity and who we are, and I think we really found a lot tonight. I mean, we had multiple guys with 4 fouls, and so it forced, Trado to step up, some other guys to really play well. Trey Van Howen hit some big shots to bring us back in. So other guys were able to really, find some identity. So certainly a lot of positives. But, I know Coach Schulte, he's in there talking to him right now. But tomorrow it's back to work and really look at this game as missed opportunities that, you tinker and tweak those little things. It makes a huge difference. If you cut those turnovers in half tonight, it's a different ball game, guaranteed. No matter if those officials blow those 2 calls or not, if we have 10 turnovers or less, it's a different outcome. But tonight it was just a lot of sloppy play that gave North Polk second and third chances, and it caught up to us.
Well, and you say those 10 turnovers. The reason why you could probably cut those in half, Phil, how many of those turnovers were just bad passes or misreads? But it wasn't North Polk played pretty good defense. I'm not, again, trying to discredit the opponent, but a lot of the errors that Pella made tonight were unforced errors.
Yeah, and certainly, there are things you can control. And one of those things is, I always said to my guys when I coached, I said, don't make the ESPN pass, right? How many times we see those top 10, he threw behind the back. But what they don't show you is the hundreds and thousands of kids in gyms everywhere that throw those passes in their turnovers, right? And so just make the easy pass. The 100%, your teammate's going to catch it because there's nothing stopping him from catching it. And if you make those passes and instead of some of these 50-50 and really some fundamental ones, I mean, sometimes you instigate the fast break, right? When you throw that ball from the wing back up to the top into traffic, they're able to poke it and get a fast break, and it turns out to be a really bad situation. And, I know, Coach Schulte, like I said, the keys he said this year were, defend, rebound, and value the basketball. And we really need to look at those boxes and say, what did we do well tonight? How can we improve? And there certainly were some things that we could improve.
The beauty is game one. There's a lot of time left to figure that out.
Yeah, I heard you and Brian talking on the first cast about, it's November basketball, right? And you want to play your best basketball at the end of February. So we got months of this, and I look forward to being up here with you a lot this winter.
And I think that's the thing is that, think about this. Pella made all of those mistakes, and we'll talk about our key player in a second. They made this mountain, they made their own mountain to climb, but they climbed it. They took the lead a couple times in that fourth quarter. They had some really good possessions. That and one, regardless of the official's call, was a great breakaway, and Pella had the chance. Yeah. That's the positive news. You took a fairly experienced North Polk team, certainly one that's more experienced than Pella, down to the wire. And if this game is played in February, and like we said, if Pella cleans up those mistakes, outcome's completely different.
Yeah, and there's a lot of positives. Like one of the things that I saw very distinctly different tonight of this team was the unselfish passing.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on past years, but a lot of times we had guys where, hey, it was my shot to take, right?
Yep.
And tonight, what I saw was really unselfish play, which led to easy baskets. And so when we chip away at how can we get better this season, that's one area that I show on film tomorrow is say, guys, look at these unselfish passes, easy layups. You said Trey had a chance on a break, and he passed it off to his teammate for an easier shot. And so to have a senior already understanding, the team getting points is better than me. I think the mentality of this team, as that grows stronger and stronger, they're gonna build on this.
Oh, that's where the JV and the underranks, you build that culture there. And by the time they get to varsity, they know it's already there. And I think when you watch Pella's JV over the years, a lot of the things that Coach Schulte wants to do at varsity, they're starting to understand at that level.
Yeah, those concepts, go all the way down, freshman and on up.
Do want to mention our key player, the game presented by McCall Monument. I'm going to go with Tyson Barnes. He was a huge spark off the bench, 10 points. I had him for 5 rebounds. There's a couple other guys you could pick, but I thought Tyson, especially in that fourth quarter, had some really big rebounds and some really big buckets that ultimately kept Pella in the game. And there was a couple other guys that could have been, but I'm going to go with Tyson Barnes, our first player.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trey Van Howen. Yep. I thought he hit some really big shots to get us back in the game. Obviously, Tyson's a great candidate, and I love his play coming off the bench. But I thought, Trey really stepped up, had a couple steals, like I said, unselfish passes, and then the ability. He was one of the guys that was set to hit his three-point shot. And a lot of guys, it was kind of a hesitation, and I really like to see that from Trey. He's a good shooter, and we need him to knock down shots. So.
Your McCall Monument Monumental players of the game. Don't burn your loved ones with planning a memorial after you're gone. Pre-plan yours and trust the family at McCall Monument, the area's leading monument designer and installer on Old Highway 163 West in Pella. Final score, North Polk 57, Pella 49. We'll have more of the Cabinet Design of Pella Radio postgame show after this. You're listening to Pella High Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on FM 92.1 KRLS, Knoxville Pella, KRLS HD1 Knoxville Pella. More after this.
Our holiday meat certificate and pie promotion is back again this year at Bruxford's Home Center in Pella. When you make any $500 purchase this holiday season, you'll get a free Pella Nursery pie and a beef certificate to one of the local meat markets. These free holiday trimmings are yours with any $500 purchase, whether it's appliances, furniture, bedding, accessories, or anything else in the store. Merry Christmas from the entire family at Bruxford's Home Center in Pella.
At Menninga Pest Control, their slogan is that Sean and his team want to kill your bugs. Now Sean wants you to join his team and kill other people's bugs. Menninga Pest Control has an immediate opening for a technician. Whether you're looking for full-time or part-time or even just seasonal, Sean is looking for you. He'll even train you and make sure that you get the proper certification to kill those bugs. Interested? You know the number to call.
Call 628-3198. Menninga Pest Control.
Hi, this is Ann from Hearthstone, a ministry of Wesley Life. The environment we work in is critically important to our well-being, and we want to work where people value us, support us, and have our backs. That's exactly the environment we provide at the Cottages, one of our 3 campuses here in Pella, where we just opened 2 beautiful brand new households. The only thing that's missing is you. And right now, we're offering a $5,000 hiring bonus with first payment before Christmas. Let's talk soon. Call me at 620-4162.
If you're looking for the best burger around, look no further than Wood Iron Grill. Home of Iowa's Best Burger 2019, Wood Iron Grill serves delectably crafted cuisines and beverages with intentional service. Try their famous Iowa's Best Burger, their mouth-watering tenderloin, a chef's feature, or their unique spin on your comfort food favorites. At the Wood Iron Grill, they are deeply gratified by the opportunity to forge a legacy of inspiration, connection, and acceptance for all who enter. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wood Iron Grill, making memories one plate at a time.
Hospice of Pella helps patients focus on living fully when facing a serious illness or end of life. Hospice care can include pain management, symptom control, emotional support, and spiritual care, and can be delivered in a patient's home, assisted living, long-term care, or in the Comfort House in Pella. Hospice of Pella is an independent and local agency serving a 6-county area with timely care and easy access to services. Anyone can make a referral for hospice care. If you're ready to discuss options, call Hospice of Pella at 620-5050.
Are you a saver or a spender? Either way, we have you covered at Community First Credit Union with 2 great reward checking options. Our checking accounts are about money in your pocket, not points you'll never use. Simply meet monthly qualifications to get your rewards and unlimited nationwide ATM fee refunds. And no matter what happens, there are no monthly fees or minimum balance requirements. Switch to See First today and let us reward you, because at See First, together is better. Rules and qualifications apply. See First is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, this is Dr. Tim Yoder, the Tri-County Veterinary Clinic veterinarian. If you're heading out of town for the holidays and your pet can't go along, have him boarded with us. He'll receive exercise 3 times a day, he'll be fed based on a schedule you set up, and he'll be given a nice bath the day before you take him home. To schedule a reservation, call Tri-County Veterinary Clinic at 628-4040, where your pet's good health is our #1 concern.
They're the veterinarians.
Yes, we are. We're the peterinarians.
They do take care of pets because they love them.
Back inside our Cabinet Design of Pella Radio postgame show on 92.1 KRLS, Andrew Snyder with head coach Derek Schulte of the Pella boys, following a season-opening loss to North Polk 57-49. And, Coach, I'm sure we could talk a lot about what happened in this game. There was just a lot of activity, a lot of whistles, fouls, just teams playing November basketball, as we've coined it. 2 teams that are pretty new. At the end, it turned into quite the competitive game. Your guys had a lot of fight, battled back from a tough deficit, but ultimately it was the Comets who walk away with win #1. Your initial thoughts on what was a very, very different night of Pella basketball here tonight with a couple of young teams playing?
Well, we're always disappointed when it doesn't go our way, and that's the mood of the locker room right now, of just disappointment and frustration. But we also talked about the opportunities for a young team to really learn, grow from the experiences we had. I think we had 23 turnovers, a lot of defensive lapses in that second quarter, and opportunities down the stretch that just didn't go our way. And all of those, with 2 minutes to go, we're right back in that game. And what it says is we've got a group of really tough guys in there that really battle, give everything they have. North Polk just made a few more plays in that last 2 minutes.
Well, and we don't want to make too many comparisons to previous years, but we talked a lot even in the preseason about how new this team is, and in the sense of it was almost entirely 100% turnover from a group that had been to multiple state tournaments and had some all-state players on it, and that showed at times. It's your first game. You've seen it in the scrimmages. It's stuff that's going to be over time correctable, I'm sure, Coach, but your thoughts about watching this kind of style of basketball, knowing that the pieces are there. There were flashes of brilliance right throughout the night of nice little runs and offensive plays and unselfish basketball, but that's, coupled with a lot of frustrating turnovers and some, ticky-tack and maybe some inexperienced fouls that are made. So as you coach and ebb through this kind of a game, what's going through your mind as you understand that these guys, many of them have never been in this position before?
Yeah, how we can use this film to move us forward. And I think that this is a team that has a lot of potential. We really like this group. And we're not unrealistic of knowing that we're not a team right now that's going out and scoring 70, 80, right? We're going to have to be more consistent on both ends of the floor, specifically defensively. I thought the third quarter we were excellent with our defense, held them to 7 points, got us back into it. When we take care of the basketball and get guys in the right spots for good shots, I think you will see us grow as an offensive team. Obviously, we're just not there yet, right? And we got to recognize that, work on it, and I know this group will.
Well, and the teachability, and I know that Trevor and I are probably going to talk to you a lot about this, is the learning progress here. What are those benchmarks then as you go into a week of practice like this? Now that you've seen a couple of scrimmages, you've had a live game under your belt, what are those things that you can correct in practice, whether it's a short-term thing versus a long-term thing, especially in a game like this, right, where, again, you did see those positives. I'm sure you're going to reinforce it. Hey, guys, we were down by 10 twice in that third quarter, tied the game, took the lead a couple times in the fourth, but at the same time, in the fourth quarter, we made too many of those mistakes that ultimately allowed North Polk to win.
Yeah, I think you can see offensively we're trying to find our identity. And right now, because we're inexperienced, sometimes we're a little happy and our spacing gets out of whack. We start coming to the ball. We're over-dribbling at times. And all those are very fixable pieces. And as we continue to see them on film, and give North Polk credit, similar to Southeast Polk, great ball pressure can speed you up. And I think our guards got sped up at times. Those are going to come with experience. We got solid players there that can handle it. And I really expect us to see a jump in these next couple weeks.
You got into a ton of foul trouble. 2 guys with 4 fouls in the first half of the third quarter. And guys stepped up. Braden Trato and Tyson Barnes in particular were the 2 guys who stood out to me as coming off the bench. And you're going to need that. This is definitely, again, don't want to make too many comparisons. Last 2 or 3 years, you've had the beauty of the 5 guys on the floor, and you had some great bench players that complemented them. This year, there's going to be a lot of nights where your bench players are your best players, and I'm not sure if we go that far, but certainly Tyson and Braden were pivotal with guys getting in foul trouble.
Our bench production was really good tonight. I thought the energy that they brought on both ends of the floor was excellent. It was great to see Tyson get going inside and bringing great energy on the glass. Braden got it going from 3 and handled the ball well out there. Cam Rowe gave us some good minutes. Colin Kern as well. And we're going to need that. We're a team that is going to have to play deeper and find who has that hot hand on that night and how we can use that to our advantage and exploit that defense.
Well, and the road is never going to be easy this year. We talk a lot about the conference, and we talk a lot about week to week, and we even talked in the preseason interview about your schedule and its difficulty, non-conference and in-conference. Well, you've got a very veteran Norwalk team on Friday, a group that has a lot of returning talent and one that on paper is going to be a step ahead in that department experience-wise. And you're going to go into a nice, new, renovated, beautiful gym, but certainly a gym that's caused problems for this program over the years. Your thoughts about how to regroup, reevaluate, and get ready for a really, really tough challenge at Norwalk?
You know, the great thing about this season is I think every Tuesday and Friday we're heading into real challenges, and we got a ton of respect for Norwalk. They return beyond Indianola as much as anybody in our league, and they've got good athletes, and they're going to compete extremely hard on the defensive end. You know, I think in our league, consistency is going to be where it's at, and night after night, until teams figure that out, it's going to be who plays the best 32 on that night. That's our task for them. What we want to see between now and then is cut our turnovers in half and give ourselves a chance on the defensive end. If we do those 2 things, I think we'll be in a 4-quarter battle on Friday.
Should be another intriguing matchup. Trevor will have that with Mike Effner coming up on Friday. That's head coach Derek Schulte of the Pella boys basketball team following a 57-49 loss to North Polk. Coach, appreciate your time. I'm sure a lot of intriguing post-game interviews as we learn about this new team, but I know that there were flashes of a lot of great excitement, and I know that by February the goal is to be a really scrappy team. This was just step 1 of 21, right?
That's exactly right. As always, Andrew, appreciate the coverage that you provide, and I just want to leave it with a note of, hey, we love this basketball team, and this group of guys will battle every single night, and we're looking forward to seeing this progress this year.
And again, just the first step of many. We'll wrap things up here in our Captain Santa Pella radio postgame show.
Planting 1,000 trees on our cattle farm to block the breeze? It makes for good neighbor relations, and my numbers were good. So Bank Iowa said, let's make it happen.
A revolutionary roll-on butter product that takes the mess out of corn on the cob. Makes sense, right? My business plan and numbers are solid. So Bank Iowa said, let's make it happen.
Stop by your local Bank Iowa or visit us online at bankiowa.bank. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. All loans are subject to approval.
At Champion Seed, we take cold beverages and seed discounts seriously. This is your chance to get both. Enter the Champion Seed Cooler Connect giveaway by texting Champion to 31313. One cooler full of beverages will be given away each week with no purchase necessary. All participants qualify for early order seed discounts with no upfront payment.
I'm Jay Boat, your local Champion Seed dealer. Enter to win by texting Champion to 31313.
Captain Santa Pella radio post-game show. As we wrap things up here, let's go ahead and go inside our final stats presented by the Reduff Agency. 16 points for Jackson Rutledge of North Polk to lead the way. Cole Krings finished with 12, including 5 critical in the fourth quarter. It was 7 points for Austin Park and 6 for Jackson Nemmers. For Pella, 13 from Luke Hardman led the way. Tyson Barnes had 10 points and 5 rebounds. Braden Schreto had 8 points. Traven Howen had 6, both coming in a critical third quarter run. Luke Keichus had 6 first half points as well. Cam Schulte with 3 points on the night. Pella 23 turnovers. North Polk finishing unofficially with 15 on the night. Your final stats are presented by the Reduff Agency. Let Chad, Lance, or Larry calculate an insurance plan and customize an insurance plan for you. The Reduff Agency. Complete courteous service for the Pella area for 100 years. Phil, time to go in closing, presented by Light State Bank. Grow strong with us, and that's going to be a mantra throughout the season, growing, growth. And as I talked to Coach Schulte, and you heard it, you know, they're disappointed. They wanted to win this game. They had a chance to win this game, and any time you have a win out there, especially with a team like this that's young, it's good to have it. But it's game 1 of 21. This conference is going to give you all sorts of unique challenges. The good news was, Phil, they came back from a tough hole in that third quarter. They fought till the end. It feels like there are pieces there, but to get there, Phil, it's going to be a process. And Pella basketball is not going to look perfect or pretty for probably quite a few weeks and even into January.
Oh, there I am.
First one of those of the year.
Yeah, no worries. You know, to kind of, I don't know if you watch Sound Off on Sunday nights.
I do, quite a bit. I'm a former 13 employee.
Yeah,
so
I watch Keith Murphy. But, you know, his opening, I think, statement this week at the beginning of his show is he talked about, you know, sometimes a loss creates better things than a win. And he talked about how both Iowa and Iowa State this weekend, I mean, Iowa State took it on the chin. Sorry. I know you're a Cyclone
apologize.
Fan. But Iowa
had that basketball win. I'm okay.
Yeah, but Iowa, you know, we could have won and gone to the Big Ten championship too and just gotten annihilated. But now the accountability comes into play that both of those athletic directors need to make changes and need to do some things differently. And the very last piece that they have to evaluate is what happened. And, you know, and so I look at this game and I think about, okay, if we win this game, what's the mood in the locker room? Oh, hey, you know, we go into conference play Friday night, but now the mood is different. We're going to approach this game and say, hey, we have to win in the margins. We have to do the little things correct. And, you know, that's what I really think comes from this loss. So.
Well, and I think when you have young and experienced teams, you're right. Sure, you want to win. And if Pella had the horses out there that they had last year, if they had this kind of loss, then we're like, and I think at times we were, what's wrong? It's obvious what's wrong. They're inexperienced. They're young. They're teenagers. They have all those things. And I think the exciting piece is this could have been a 20-point loss for the Dutch, right?
Yep.
You come out of the half, you don't play. What's there to play for?
Yeah.
It was a valuable loss, Phil, right? Yep. They learned how to come back. They learned how to be in a position to put themselves in that game. And when you're in February and you're probably playing North Polk in a second-round playoff game to go to a sub-state final, this is the kind of game you're going to learn from. And what does Pella learn? And honestly, North Polk, I'm sure, learns a lot from film too.
Yeah.
But they walk away with that feeling, right? And who knows how they play on Friday when they go to the Raccoon River Conference. But that's the thing that this coaching staff, really for both teams, is going to have to deal with, right? A lot of new faces, a lot of new players. What did we learn from? Pella's record may not look good when we come back out of the New Year break, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of tough teams between now and December 21st. But what does that mean for this team as they grow as young people? And by the time February rolls around, who's going to want to see these Pella teams that have those little things now that turn into big things?
Yeah, no, I think, and we talk about a couple calls, and I know Coach Schulte was pretty frustrated there with those 2 last calls. But again, you can show all of the other things that led to that moment. And if we do those things correctly, bad calls don't matter, And so I'm disappointed. I love a Dutch win and love to go home and celebrate with my son. But, unfortunately tonight we're gonna talk about it and say, hey, what could the team do better to change the outcome the next time you're in this situation? So, hopefully we learn from it and grow from it. And just like Iowa and Iowa State are going to, right?
Yeah, let's hope so.
Let's hope so. There's
for the
some
sake
changes.
of football on the state. Basketball, I think we're in a much better spot there. But, yeah, that's the most important piece, is to remember a little bit of perspective, and it should be a lot of fun to see these teams grow over the next 10 to 12 weeks. That's In Closing, presented by Light State Bank. Grow strong with us. And that'll wrap up our first winter broadcast. Thank you to Brian, and thank you, Phil, for taking on the unique challenge of calling basketball, which is so fast-paced, especially here. And we'll have a lot of conversations about the shot clock, about how officials grow, how teams grow.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be fun.
But we're both off on Friday.
Yeah,
at least I'm over on Eagle Lane.
As a dad, I'm never off, right? So
Exactly.
I'm actually going to be in Sioux City hauling down to get to Norwalk Friday. So I got my work cut out for me. Yeah, a lot of road time. So.
Trevor Castle will get to dust off his vocal cords after the Central football season. He'll be joined by our Norwalk broadcaster, Mike Effner, to get him up to speed. Pella at Norwalk. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock on 92.1 KRLS.
I'm excited. New gym there, right?
New gym.
Yeah, should be fun.
That old gym's got a lot of nightmares for a lot of Pella coaches. That was a tough place to play.
My 14 years with the Dutch were better positives and negatives when we played there, but a lot of good memories and a lot of enjoyable technicals when Chris Larson would get them. So.
Yeah, we got to needle Chris Larson whenever we can, and we know that he often listens, so I'll be sure to say hi to him hopefully soon. Our final scores here tonight: North Polk girls win 73-46. North Polk guys win 57-49. You've been listening to Pella High basketball, and the one to count on for today's local sports in the home of the Dutch, 92.1 KRLS and Pella Dutch Live. Have a great week, and we'll see you Friday for more high school basketball action.